All right. The button says we're live, so let me give it a test. YouTube says we're live too, so I guess we'll get started. Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? All right. Instant Media in the house. And it was the night before the FOMC meeting. Is it tomorrow? I didn't know. Well, I guess it is the 21st, right? It would happen to be during the spring equinox, right? It would happen to just be uh, at the spring equinox. That's funny. We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see how wedded they are to this direction. You know, it might be damn the torpedoes, or they might say we need to back off. We'll see. It's a good question. I do not know. Doc is in the house. What's up, Doctor Thunder? See if Doc have yeah, he does. Go ahead and put your go ahead and pimp your channel, Doc, while you're here, because I don't have it. I don't have my stuff pulled up. What's up, Brian? Anubis, what's going on? Cubert, what's going on? Shannon, what's going on? Philip, what's going on? JBA, what's up? Gabar, what's up? Cool Gamer, what's up? McDowell's, I always get. Oh, that always trips me out with the symbol. Especially going if you remember coming to America. All Spades, what's up? Waffle Weave, what's up? Yeah, Waffle Weave. Yeah, I got to get back to you. Yeah, I think you sent me it's either email or Patreon. I got to get back to you. Uh, Supreme. It's actually Waffle Weave is actually easier to reach me on Twitter. DM me on Twitter. I actually see that faster. Uh, have I checked out? I have. I gotta go through all the Picards, man. But I will check out season 3. It's kind of hard to jump right into the middle of it. Rugged, what's going on? Hey yo, don't nobody say shit. DJ B side, DJ B side's been with me forever, man. I mean forever. I am Waff. Yeah, well, you know what? Well, she's white, and thing is, you got to understand, Jason has a filter, okay? Jason has a filter, and it would, does it come? Some things can come off as racist. Things can come off as true. I haven't looked at it. Um, he doesn't like Pearl. So what? And because Pearl has black people on her show, okay, get over it. You're mad because Pearl blew up. That's really what it is. When Pearl was actually doing the same shit and only had 20,000 followers, nobody said shit. I mean, nobody. So, races or whatever, man, it doesn't matter. I was over on the white side. Okay, you're gonna run into that. So, if you're on the white side, you want to consume white manosphere media, you're gonna run into some racism. Hell, you run into racism here on the black side. So, get over it. Scorpion, what's up? Wannabe, what's up? Joe's, what's up? Buddha, what's up? Jeff, what's up? K Tut, what's up? Yeah, go ahead if you want to pimp your channel because I don't like I said I don't have my notepad pulled up, so I can't paste it in. I'm not I am not moderating today, so I don't have my moderator stuff pulled up. Chris, what's up? So much to catch up on. True. Aaron, what's up? Kareem, what's up? Another one of my long timers. Yeah, it's all right. You can actually come up and do it in real time, Salt Life, because I want what I want to know is what you know. Okay, you can disagree with it, but I want to know what you know. Because I'm saying what I know. I want to know what you know. I want you to defend your point. Because you say you disagree, but you don't defend your points. That's the problem I have with you. You can't defend your points. So disagreeing it when you disagree with me doesn't it means nothing. Okay. All right, you good with Patreon? Okay, that's cool. Hey, McDowell's is coming to America. So if you want a black burger, you got to go to McDowell's in New York. Sec, grab second gear Eddie. All right. Okay. You know enough. Okay, I'll start season 3. FLA, what's up? JCB Hayden. Yeah, well, he always does that, man. Jason should just make if he would just make his money and stop talking about people. He does at his point. You get 1,000 people um, per live, man. You don't need to talk about people. You can just do your shit. You're wasting your time talking about people. So I think I've just about got everybody. Brahms, what's up? Hunter X Man, what's up? Um, CME says 60 chance of a Fed pivot. Okay? The thing is, we don't know. Okay, they already know there's a problem. Okay, there's a problem with the banks and the economy. Okay, um, there's a lot of bad paper. What the stuff I heard. I was listening to Richard Martin. Richard Martin, I haven't really been on him because he's so wedded to COVID vaccine, and I got tired of listening to him. Right, to actually filter through all the COVID news and all that kind of him ranting on COVID and COVID vaccines and that kind of crap. I started to stop filtering. So, but I actually listened to him, uh, the drop he did yesterday. So part of it is very interesting about SVB and the banks and the Fed, right? I'm actually gonna. I don't want to put it out here because people are too sensitive. I'm actually gonna clip that as far as dark news. I'm gonna put it up on my Patreon like later on tonight or early tomorrow. So if you want to hear what he says, he has a very, very different take that makes a hell of a lot of sense, man, about bad paper and why SVB crashed. Because SVB crashed not because of bad loans, according to him. Okay, not because of that bad loans. It's something else. Okay, I'm not gonna say what it is here, but I'm gonna put it up on my Patreon. Maybe like I said later on tonight. It's very interesting take. Interesting take. Now I don't know how true it is, but the thing is, Richard Martin is pretty accurate, right? When he says something, he's an insider. He used to trade. He was a banker. He was a corp. He actually traded currencies and stuff like that. So he did it for like 40 years. So he's pretty accurate. And what he said, if it's true, we're in a whole lot of trouble. Okay, if what he said is true, we're in a lot of trouble. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah. One thing is, yeah, the thing is, you disagreeing with me doesn't mean anything. The thing is that, especially on my shit, man, you disagree with don't mean shit. You have to defend your point. You got to be able to back it up. If you can't do that, you're wasting your time. Probably, I'm gonna say end of the week. I'm thinking end of the week. Probably the $20 Patreon will probably be end of the week. Dardar, what's up? MGTOW Universe. uh, oh man, hold on. Let me give me about 15 minutes, MGTOW Universe, man. I'm gonna drop you the link. I'm gonna email you the link. You can come up first, man. I want to talk to you about that. Hey, right now, MGTOW Universe, I want my BGS was right shit. Right now, I want it now. Okay, no one don't ask for it. I want my flowers right now, brother. I told you. Told you. I told you it's gonna be the death of the script kiddies. I told you. Anyway, want to be. What's up, Hunter man? Can China broker a deal? Okay, let me see. What do you think will happen to humanity when AI's? Nobody knows, man. They don't know. Nobody knows. Actually, nobody. We never been here before. There is no precedent for what we're getting ready to go through. I mean, none. Can China broker a deal to end the conflict? Conflict with they can broker a deal. They can. Will U.S. actually allow the deal to go through? They can broker a deal. They've got one on the table. But and Russia will actually accede to it. So the deal is not whether Ukraine will take it or will Russia take it. Will the U.S. allow them to take it? Mr. Louis, what's up? They'll live it up. They'll live it up again. They will. They will. That's true. Gunda, you got to say Gunda, not Nakatu. Okay, I'm not even gonna try it. Nataku. Okay, that's it. What up? Uh, uh, it's more than that, boss, but it's all right. No, they have to they have to go back really and they have to go back and actually learn, like learn machine language and AI and stuff like that. They had to go back and learn math, which they don't have. Okay, they have to go through that 4 years of math like everybody else, which is not easy. Which is normally what kicks people out because people's math skills suck. And most math teachers that teach us the stuff suck. So what should a working class black man that makes over 40K do in this economic time? Try to keep your job. Learn new skills, whatever it is, whether it's skills on the job that you currently have. If you got to go back and learn a trade, man, you got to do whatever you got to do. Okay, so you got to be willing to. Uh, you might have to put on your hustle shoes, man, and get out there. There's no way to protect yourself, man. What you're trying to do is stay ahead of the curve. When you see a wave coming in, okay, you're gonna try to stay on the front curl of that wave, right? If you can't do that, man, you're gonna have to find that pocket like a surfer. Okay, if you can't stay ahead of the wave, what you have to do, you gotta find that tube, right? You gotta find the cut, right in right in that curl, right? So you gotta find that curl. That's what you're gonna have to do. Passport OG, what up, man? You can come up if you want to after I open it up. But we would. Well, the thing is, thing is, you got to verify those solutions. Solutions that's off the top of your head doesn't mean anything. Okay, got to have solutions. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I want you to hear it because the way he puts it, man. Yeah, but it is the bonds. Okay, you're right. It is the bonds. But $1 billion is not going to do it. Okay. Showing fences. You know what, Doc? There are two things, Doc. I think I might do a Patreon man thing on fences, just a review of fences, man, because I actually want to go over through the whole movie and give commentary. Um, and secondly, um, I might need your help because I want to set up some Gnostic classes, and I might need your help outlining the shit because when you got experts, ain't no sense of struggling by yourself. You got experts, so I might need your help setting up the class. So I don't know, but I have to go through I'm going through the material, but I think I may or may not need your help, but I'll let you know. Uh, Doc saying hello to Dr. T. Dr. T in the house. Uh, yeah. Well, the thing is, it depends on what time that the U.S. is on. Okay, if the U.S. Um, is gonna because all the U.S. has to do is stop giving the Ukraine weapons, artillery shells, and it'll take care of itself. Um, because Ukraine, at this point, Ukraine wants to broker a deal. The thing is, will the United States and NATO let them broker the deal? We don't know. We have to see. Map, what's going on? Dart. Okuda, I do think in security. Yeah, jobs. Yeah, you're gonna have to do what you got to do. But if you're an HVAC man, um, if you're interested in HVAC man, do it now while it's cheap. Okay, don't wait. If you're thinking about getting a trade, don't wait till people start losing their jobs and they need to and they finally decide they have to go back to school for a trade. Don't wait till it gets crowded, man. If you're gonna do it now. Whatever it is that you're gonna do, endeavor, don't wait. Okay, because it takes about 6, 7 months where people are scared. Okay, and they can't figure it out. But after that 7th, 8th month, they're gonna make up their mind. So whatever you're gonna do, you know, before this bad boy, the egg cracks, man, jump on it. Don't wait. Well, no, I don't think the BRICS are not forcing China to a World War III. World War III is not going to save the economy, man. I don't know what you think about World War III, man. That is not the way you save an economy. If you wanna reset, reset the human race, you can do that, but that's not going to save the economy. What do if they recently did it? If they did it, I haven't heard it. And normally I listen to um, like 3 or 4 people every morning that dealing with the Ukraine and and that situation. And if there was a peace deal that they rejected, I would have heard about it. I haven't heard about it. I know there's one on the table, but I haven't heard them formally reject it. They might not like it, but they haven't rejected it yet, or they haven't forced Ukraine to reject it. Well, it's supposed to. Thing is, if you have to have the UBI, man, it's about survival. It's not about upward mobility because there won't be any upward mobility to be had. Okay, because they have to flatten everything. Everything will have to start from scratch. So there will be upward mobility for everybody. Okay, if you can grab it, because they have to reboot everything. So whatever if you find a way to go up above everybody else, okay, then yeah, there'll be upward mobility for everybody if you can do it. But they have to flatten everything. Yeah, yeah, you can move up. The thing is that uh, the thing is, what happens when we don't have a market? So everyone will cool themselves. Plus you have to people that do have houses and live in inclement weather. Uh, People have to service this stuff. There's not enough people, and plus those skills can be exported abroad because as the world develops, HVAC and those kind of things will be needed someplace else. So yeah, in Florida, Arizona, New Mexico, uh, 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 Nevada, hell, most of the Midwest. At some point, you need air conditioning. You know, OnlyFans can save the economy. Not if people don't have money. OnlyFans only like only what 5% actually make a living off of OnlyFans. Yeah, well, yeah, the trades will boom for a while. What's up, Chaos? Uh, what do you think about Google Cloud Engineering? Learn as much as you can. Okay, learn as much as you can. If that's what you're into, jump into it and learn as much as you can. But the thing is, that's just a starting point because a lot of this, like I said, if you're gonna be a script kiddie and you try to make a living off of just what they teach you initially, it's not gonna be enough. You're really gonna have to dig in and either go back to school or take a traditional IT course because most people avoid math, okay? And you're going to need math, okay? MGTOW Universe is back in school because he knows he's going to need math and that kind of stuff to actually stay relevant because the machines and AI is only going to get better. They won't get worse. You think you're trying to outrun them, like there's an old joke, right? Um, when there's two hikers in the woods, right? And they came up on this big 9-foot grizzly bear, and so they look at each other, and his buddy drops his pack and starts running as fast as he can, right? And his buddy said, the bear's faster than you. You can't outrun a bear. He said, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. Okay? You have to outrun the next guy. That's your problem. So your competition is not AI. Your competition is the guy next to you, unfortunately. You have to outrun him and stay ahead of the curve. It's not gonna be well. I don't think it'll be Mad Max. They'll do whatever they need to do to contain it. I don't think they're crazy. I don't think they're crazy, but I've been shocked. Over the past year or so, I've been shocked at some of the goings on. So, um, yeah, but you won't get into Amazon without a college degree for IT, and that's probably true. Well, nowadays, because a lot of the non-IT people, the non college degree people, are getting laid off right now. So they're laying off people with degrees. McDonald's, there is a workerless McDonald's in Texas, believe it or not, with no human beings. Yeah, they broke the deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. They did that. I heard there's a deal that they're working on between Ukraine and Russia. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. Uh, yeah, hit the like button, folks. I know it's random. Uh, I know it's like out of the blue, but hit the like button. Let's see what else we got. Hey, there she is. There's my co-pilot. What's up, Toya? Yeah, I like riding shotgun for Toya. She's a good driver. Uh, what do you think of the timeline for CBC? I don't know. Do not know. I don't have a timeline for it. Everything's up in the air right now. Yeah, you can. You can. If nurses get well, people there's gonna be a lot of sick people. Well, actually, there's a shortage of nurses. So, and like I said, the care industry, there's no way to actually replace those people right now. So you're good. You know, if you can take the with nursing, if you can take the 2 or 3 years to actually learn the stuff. Uh, I don't know much about it. The thing is, I've heard about it. I know it's a proposal. Um, I just want to see if they get paid. If they get paid, when they start clearing checks, then you can talk to me about reparations. I don't believe nothing till they start issuing checks. I don't believe it. I've, I've seen this too much. I hear proposal. It's an election year. And a lot of what the Democrats are trying to do is float the idea out there so they can actually get black folks and liberals to actually vote for them. But if they cut a check, I'll believe it. Well, there's a lot of reasons it could be. Okay, there's a lot of reasons it could be. We don't know exactly what it is. Well, global elites, the hands are changing as far as global elites. Okay, they're trying to save themselves right now. They're trying to save this their system. They're trying to save their system. Let's see what else is out there. Let me send Big Tau Universe a invite. I think I have his email. I think I do. There he is. I'll hit send, and I want my flowers. What is it? Like the Barksdale said. He said Avon Barksdale said in the wire. I want my corners. I want my flowers. Okay. Not but the markets are already crashing, man. The thing is, wait. If they made it make it raise another quarter point, it's going to get worse. Markets are already crashing. They're already doing currency swaps, just like they did in when the markets crashed in 2008. They started doing currency swaps. So the markets already the currency market is already crashing. In fact, there's another one I'm going to read. So a lot of this specific stuff, you know, because it's so sensitive. A lot of this stuff I'm actually gonna put on Patreon, man, because I was reading something. I said, "Damn, should I put this out? Damn, I don't know if I should put this out in public." I said, "Look," I said, so some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, we're actually gonna put on Patreon, um, because it's really, really sensitive, to people watching, at least to me, because I get dinged for it. I mean, okay. Uh, as it well, it's all a hustle, man. In fact, a lot of IT guys are doing gig jobs. They're not they're not 9 to 5. A lot of IT guys are doing contracting. Actually, that McDonald's does have people. They make the food. Not what I saw. Not what I saw. Not but it was an experimental McDonald's that was automated. The one, at least what I saw. Now, whether there's people behind it, I didn't see it. Uh, they actually went through the whole thing. There's nobody in there. Now, you got if you saw something else, what the video that I saw, there was nobody in there. They already started integrating people with machines. They've done that already. The McDonald's, because I worked for McDonald's like years ago when I was like 16, 17 years old, from 16 to like 18 years old, right? And we used to have a staff of during the busy time was about we had uh, 6 registers, we had 3 supervisors, and we had 5 cooks. So and we had some cleanup people. So we had a staff of like 20 people when it was busy. So and now I think they run a staff of maybe 5 or 6, even if it's busy. So they have stripped it way down. So and a lot of people they're encouraging you to actually use the app. When I go to McDonald's, I always use the mobile app. They actually because they actually give you better deals. So they're encouraging you to actually use the mobile app rather than the walk up, where you have to exchange money. I emailed you the link if you want to jump up and talk about Chat GBT, McTel Universe. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. We're trying to tell you, man, get your skills up because this is coming. In fact, I said it was coming, right? Like, in 2019, I saw it coming. I was telling people get your skills up. So the thing is, you're lucky that COVID actually gave you. People should have been grinding during COVID, man. The 2 years under COVID, people should have been grinding and getting their skills up when they're at home instead of being online and playing games. You should have been grinding, getting your skills up. I'm trying to tell you, get your skills up because once they come out of it, they're already behind. So they're actually going to accelerate the automation pace, right? Like I'll give you for instance, right? Like 5G. Okay, 5G it was a slow rollout, right? Under COVID, right? Nothing, pretty much nothing, nowhere, right? Um, 2020, 2021, nothing. 2022, a little bit. 2023, man, they sent me this advertisement for Verizon Wireless, right? For Verizon Internet, right? At half a gig, right? Completely 5G, no cables. Okay, that means 5G has been rolled out in my neighborhood within like less than a year. Been rolled out. Okay, I'm in the hood, man. I'm not in the fancy neighborhoods. I'm in the hood. That means 5G has been rolled out at a rapid pace. So once they get 5G completely done or mostly done, all the automated stuff is going to come right behind it. So get ready. Get ready. This stuff is going to accelerate, man. Oh man, if you're in a good financial position, um, the only thing I would say is have some cash. Okay, whatever you got to do, you got to have some pin money somewhere. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lot because if you do a lot, you're not going to get it anyway. You're going to cause a run, right? Take a little bit out here, a little bit out there, and stack it, right? So I'm not if the banks go kaput, everybody's done. Doesn't matter. But the thing is, you don't want to get caught with your card not working for 2 or 3 days. Okay, because you want to have enough money for 2 or 3 days in case your card doesn't work, in case you can't access your money. Um, until the government figures out how they can actually make you whole, at least give you something to keep you going. Okay, that's what you want to do. Anybody listening to me, make sure that you have. I was telling Doc, make sure you have at least half a month's worth of income stored in cash somewhere. Half a month doesn't have to be a lot. Most people say 6 months, right? But thing is, it's probably a little bit too much to keep at home for most people, right? Half a month of income, in cash somewhere, just in case you get stuck. Like it's the first of the month, you got to pay bills, got to go grocery shopping, something like that, and you put your card in. Your card says can't access the system. You're stuck, right? I don't want to be that guy. Half a month of income stuck someplace in the house in cash, okay? Whether it's nickels, dimes, quarters, dollar bills, $5 bills, $100 bills, whatever it is, cash, half a month in cash where you can actually access it. So in case something goes down, you at least got a week or two for them to actually clear this up. Okay, you don't want to get stuck. That's what I would say. Man, we hope to get to July. Yeah, male nurses. Yeah, yeah. Women love male nurses. I remember I think I was. I think my best friend died. Okay, he was in the hospital. We had to help turn him right, and the nurse said, "Do you want a job?" Okay, they need people. They need strength. They need physical labor because, believe it or not, uh, when you're dealing with patients, that is physical. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't. Yeah, that is a long story, okay, about that and what they're trying to. They all know that, okay? Yeah, you should. Um, in other words, you should start them in kindergarten, right? You should start them with their math because most of that stuff is math. Most of it is math and reading. Okay, if you can teach them, if you can get them to at least algebra 1 or algebra 2, intermediate algebra, and they can read at grade level, okay, they can basically that's good enough to actually for them to actually go forward, right? At least start. Okay, most of what I've seen with IT, with programming is mostly algebra, okay? A little geometry, but mostly algebra, okay? And logic, okay? Calculus comes in later. If you're doing like databases, something like that, then you need linear algebra and calculus. But but math and reading is what you need for any STEM, especially for programming, right? So if you want to get them ready, start teaching them math and English, especially math at an early age. Okay, and just because don't go by what the teacher gives you because um, my grandson is in 5th grade. They're still doing multiplication and division. Okay. If once you learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, you're actually ready for algebra. Okay, so you can start teaching them algebra in the 3rd grade if you really want to. Okay, the thing is, but the thing is, you have to have an agreement with whoever your spouse is or your partner is, whoever you had the baby by, because that's the biggest thing to actually kill it. Because if you can just make them do it, sit them down and make them do it, they'll just do it. But the thing is, you have people that are interfering. That's where the problem comes in because they want them to do something. I want to see them dance. I want to see them play. I want to make sure that they're happy. Fuck that. Okay. Fuck that. They can play after they get it done. All right, pragmatic. Peace out. You think we're doing 99% in 2009? Talking about Wall Street. They did the Occupy Wall Street in 2011. It was like our color revolution, our Arab Spring. Um, Anyhow, where we at? The building trades are slow right now because the prices are up. The thing is, now's the time to actually go learn. Okay, if you haven't learned, it's time to go learn. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They've been going back and forth for a while, so you got to go ask him what the deal is because uh, MOT is persona non grata on my channel, and I think he's persona non grata on uh, the Green Gorilla's channel too. So he's a pigeon to me. Okay. Uh, what I'm saying, we no, they're not automated. I mean, what they're mixing in automation, like with your cash system, um, the online apps and stuff like that. They're slowly but surely automating it. I saw Grimace on the fries. You ain't shit. Calvin BG who's Calvin? Okay, I don't even know who Calvin is. Okay, iRobot. It's not gonna happen the way you think it will. It will. Okay, iRobot's not gonna happen the way you think it will. And plus, you got to remember this. Got to remember, people didn't see this just in 5 years. Just look what happened in the last 5 years, not in the last 10, the last five. Okay, and how fast it's come. Yeah, in several machines. Yeah, I know. It's not nowhere near what it used to be. You don't see it? I know I emailed it to you. Okay, I'm gonna drop the link in a minute anyway. Hey, let's see. AMA. What does AMA mean? Ask me anything. Okay. You guys not must not be online people. I sent it to your Gmail. You're gonna call me soon, answer the phone. What do you think will happen to the continent of Africa with the AI revolution? They'll actually because they don't have the infrastructure for it, they will actually move forward. Okay? They'll actually get in the game. So it's gonna help them because they don't have a post industrial economy like we do. It's gonna help them. But I don't know. I haven't heard about Wells Fargo yet, so I haven't kept up with that. I haven't heard about them. You know, I've heard about everybody else. I haven't heard about Wells Fargo. Everybody's in trouble though at some point. You can do that. I wouldn't do it now. Geechee Dan, I would not do it now. You know, wait till the wait. You know, don't. What they say about investment? Do not catch a falling knife. Right? Wait till it lands. It says pushing search network. Okay. Yep. Okay. You can, but thing is, you're gonna have to expand it. You're gonna have to go deeper. You can't do the easy stuff. The easy stuff is gone. So if you can get your foot in the door, that means your learning is just starting. Nope, not yet. Well, we haven't even seen the Great Reset yet. Okay, this is not the reset. You'll know when the reset comes. No, they're trying to prevent the Great Reset. No, I never read Fraser's article on the white family. I never read it. I wouldn't be surprised. You're not seeing the link? Okay. All right, don't worry about it. I'm going to drop the link in a minute anyway. All right. Let's see what else we got. Anything important? Why another? Well, because it's a hashtag, and 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 if they rock with it, they rock with it. So they're not trying to hijack it. There's a hashtag. They can't hijack it. You can't hijack a hashtag. Okay. Well, I told you. Well, I've told you about them doing that. Uh, well before it happened. You know, toward the beginning of the year. Search them as soon as. Yeah, yeah. Don't rely on the school system. Yep, yep. A lot of this stuff you can actually learn on your own. Uh, Math and all these classes are actually online. Harvard, um, MIT. Um, what else is it? A few others, right? Yale has a extensive online courses, right? Go online and take them. They're free. What's up, Soul Shader? What else we got? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, I'm gonna drop the link. Okay. iRobot. There's a reason for it. Okay. What did I tell you? 25 to 30% of France's GDP comes from where? AB Instant Media? Africa. What did Africa just tell Macron and France? Get the fuck out of here. Not giving you no more money. Okay. If you have 25% of your GDP going out the door, what do you have to do? It's not rocket science. You know, I give you the bits, put them, at one. I'm giving you the numbers, add them together. Yeah, Canoco's pretty good. Yeah, Canoco's good because they need oil. Okay, they're gonna if they're if they're doing whatever they need to do as far as energy, they're gonna need oil. Okay. Your thoughts on Stacey Abrams in Nigeria as an election watcher? Ah, since she serves the empire, I would not trust her. If I was you, if I was them, and Stacey Abrams was being an election watcher for me, I'd keep a real good eye on her. Okay. My opinion, Stacey Abrams is not there to make sure it's fair and balanced, in my opinion. All right. No, actually, going through the 70s right now. We lived through the 60s. I would say we went through the 60s and the 2000s. Okay, early 2000s, from like, I'll say like from 90. I would say it's like 95 to like 2005, maybe 2007. Those were the 60s, right? Now, everybody making money. There was upswing as far as earnings and stuff like that because tech has just started rolling. Those were the 60s, okay? The 70s are what we're going through right now, okay? We're going through the 70s right now, which is 10 years of like stagflation, okay? Of no growth or very little growth. And so we're going through the 70s right now, extended 70s. Hopefully, that's as far as it goes. Um, Anyhow, we're at 43 minutes. Um, Mark, I'm going to drop the link for people to come up and ask questions. I'll try to get to you guys in the chat if I can, if I possibly can. But there's the link. Uh, and that's not MLR. Okay, I know what this is. I'm trying to thank you for the Cash App. Um, I think that's Patricia 480. Oh, that's I know what it is. MS Delta. Thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate you. All right. I want my flowers. I'm like the Bart, Avon Barks. I want my corners. I want my flowers. What I was telling you about about the kitty.
Why do you keep calling them script kitties?
Kitties. You know I call them script kitties.
This is actually going to create more script kitties, actually, because the level of abstraction is so damn high. Here's what I will give you credit for.
Hmm.
I think you said, I got to go back and watch the video. One of your predictions was that we'll be on UBI before 2030. And I
Yeah.
said it won't happen until about 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
We might actually be there in like 5.
Well,
So I will give you credit on that.
okay. What? Okay. When I say a script kitty, right? Okay. Um, Abstraction is cool, but the thing is, at what point do they not need you for a level of abstraction? Okay. or a number of people? At what point? We have automated systems. At what? How many people do they actually need?
Um, I still don't know.
You don't know. In other words, unless, okay, say you were hiring, right? Okay,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
hiring for an IT department, right? And
Hmm.
Yeah.
AI is coming in. It's going to lay off a certain amount of programmers, right? Which it's going to do. It already has, right? Who you let go? The guys with the degrees, or the guys without?
Yeah, the well, you let go of the probably well, you're definitely gonna start with the junior developers.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say junior developers. Yeah.
And then what I call script kiddies, right? The guys that went to did 6 months, 8 months at
The boot
school.
camp guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, boot camp guys. Those are script kiddies, right? They get a job,
Okay.
and when they're rolling, right? When things are rolling, and need people, and there's money out there. Okay, you can do 8 months and come in and make $70,000, $80,000,
I
even
will agree with you.
$100,000.
It's a
Okay,
lot of front end developers looking crunchy
yeah,
right about now.
yeah. In other words, it's at some point those are people, which is a lot of people. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Even junior devs, right? How many actually don't have a degree?
that I don't know, but I know that it was a trend. Well, I'm sure not anymore.
Yeah.
Of large tech hiring without degrees,
Keep it
but
100. I want my
those
corners.
days those days are coming to an end.
I want my corners. Okay. I want my flowers. I was telling you that. I can see it coming. I've seen it before.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for that.
When I say script kiddies, the guys that came in, rightfully so, and tried to do IT as a trade, okay, instead of a science, okay,
Mm.
because as a science, you have an IT degree. You have to go through your math, all kind of shit to get that degree as a science, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you did a year in a junior college and get some certs, okay, you didn't do it as a science. You have a whole lot of holes in your development that you need to plug. Now you
Yeah.
can plug them yourself, or you go through a course. Most people can't plug them themselves. They have to go through a course, and you have to go through the rigors of actually going and getting a degree. If I'm hiring, okay, I'm gonna keep the guys with the 4-year degree first, okay,
Yeah.
and then start cutting after that. That's what I would do. I don't know what you would do.
I would start from the bottom and then move my way up.
And move my way up. Who's at the bottom? Script kiddies. Okay.
Yeah.
What I call script kiddies. I know it's a derogatory term, but
I
that's what I
know
call
because if you had like a front end developer up here, you probably get cussed. You
it.
probably get cussed out.
He would get cussed out, motherfucker. You have a degree? No, you're script kiddie, motherfucker. That's what we used to call y'all. Okay. Most of your hackers that hacked into systems were fucking script kiddies. Okay. They weren't. Now they would get the information from guys like Mixed Universe about how to do it, and give them certain codes and plugins. Okay. They'll go in and actually hack the system, but they're fucking script kiddies. That's what I call them. That's what they are.
Okay, I see where you're coming from, but man,
You don't agree. You don't have to agree. That's what
I don't
that's what
agree.
call them. I know. And yeah,
No, because when it comes to hackers, because like the definition changes because like the guys that actually know what they're doing, they're creating their own tools. They're not just running scripts.
Most a hacker is somebody that hacks into a system, right? Using whatever scripts, whatever tools that they have. That's what they used to call them, hacking tools back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Most of the guys most people invading systems, were script kiddies. In fact, the IT guys used to complain about them. These are little kids, don't have a degree, online, getting hacking tools from the other guys, more advanced guys, and actually breaking into the system. Script kiddies. Most of your hackers were script kiddies back in the 90s.
Right around 1991, before the internet really took off in the late
Yeah.
90s. By 1991, and I was learning about this when I was away at
Yeah.
Northeast Missouri State about this, and my major was computer science at the time.
Yeah, they call them script kiddies. That's what I call them. So when they started making it like a trade. Now sometimes you can actually go there 2 years and learn, and get a certificate in IT, right? Go to junior college like 2-3 years and get your degree. Okay, get your your AA and get started. Okay, but the
Yeah.
thing is, now like I said, you're gonna have to do some kind of formal training. You're gonna have to learn some kind of math. You just can't walk in, you know,
No,
and learn a few tools of how to manipulate the system,
of
and
course.
then expect not to
Programs.
be retained, especially when AIs are gonna come and take your job. Not
Mhm.
good enough. Not good enough.
I'm just gonna ask one quick favor. I'm not gonna be on long. Can
Go
y'all
ahead. Go ahead.
please pray for my daughter Cheyenne? I'm doing my best. I'm putting a GoFundMe up. BGS. I'll send it to you tomorrow because I'm trying to get her back home to Ohio.
Okay. Okay.
She and Jody, and I think Jody just got sucker punched with COVID for the second
Oh,
time.
okay. All right. Okay. Good. Yeah. Go ahead and put it together and give us some amount and about how much we need.
Cheyenne says 10 grand.
Woo. Okay, that's a lot. Well, okay, we'll give it a shot.
She's
We'll
out.
put it in.
She's out in your way. She's out in Los Angeles.
Okay.
She was working as a travel nurse.
Oh, okay.
Travel ICU nurse. There we go.
Oh,
Because she came to see me. She was the one that came to see me when I had my cancer surgery.
So was she sick or something?
Yeah, she got sick.
Okay. All right.
She got really sick. So
Okay.
I'll send you, BGS, all the information. I'll do it tomorrow. Right now,
Okay.
my brain is telling me to crash, but I wanted to say hi to you guys.
Do me a favor, right? Make me like a 1 minute short explaining that, and I'll run it in front of my videos. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. That'd
You
probably
got
be the best way, and put your information in, and I'll post it in my when I actually put up a regular video pre-recorded. I'll put it in front, and I'll actually post their information in my description.
All right. Because
Okay.
I got a couple of them to do, one for my family, one for Cheyenne. I'll make sure I
Okay.
do them both.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause I'll have a gap in between 10 and 1 when I sign off at 10 and my first taped interview at 1. So I'll have time to
Just make it shouldn't, you're pretty good at it. It shouldn't take you very long. Just make
No.
like a 60-second short, so I can actually run it in front of my pre-recorded. That's probably the
You got
best
it.
way.
You got
Okay.
it. I will
All right.
do that. But thank you, gentlemen, so much. I love you guys. I'll try to catch y'all later in the week. I was gonna go on filter tonight, but then Jody got sick. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. If you need help, you got I don't know if you have Rodney's email, Bookie Ball's email, because he's an ICU nurse for COVID, so he's
I don't
been
think
doing
I
it for
do.
like 3 years. He knows that stuff inside and out. So if you need help,
Yeah.
email him and ask him what to do.
Will
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Will do. Thank you,
All right.
gentlemen. I love you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
All right.
that chat GPT 4 is crazy. They analyzing code off an image. I was like, what the?
And
Yep.
when they actually did the article, what did they say? They said that's the baby. What did I tell you? When it
Yep.
first came out, I said this is the baby. This is the baby. This is the one they give you.
Yeah, it's still a baby right now. It's more like a toddler, I would say.
I mean, what about his older siblings that are above it?
Well, right now they don't have, as far as I know, at least not in the public space, any competition that's comparable. Llama is pretty good, but it's not there yet.
What's the key word that you just said out of that statement?
Yet?
Public space.
Oh.
You cannot call any business, any service, anything without getting a bot first. I don't care what it is. You're gonna get a bot first. I don't care what it is. You pay a bill. You want customer service.
How can I help
if you're online, because I was trying to get something online with Verizon, man. I had to talk to the bot for 5 minutes. Okay, the chat bot for 5 minutes.
Tell me what your problem is.
Yeah, and then it
Okay,
said,
I
"Oh
can
well,
do that.
it seems that I can't help you, so I'm gonna escalate this to somebody else." Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm a bot. I can't help you right now.
All right.
Yeah. And then they transfer you to a live person, right? Okay.
Right.
And there's stages of them. So and it's just getting started, man. We gone from what 1 to 4 in 6 months, and you guys
No.
are all typing and training the little bastard.
No, we went from 3 to 4 in the last
3
4
to 4.
months.
Okay. In other words, you're sitting here typing and training a little bastard, right?
Yeah.
And feeding
Yeah,
him
I'm
information.
actually,
You're making him better. You're also feeding information to the siblings up the line. Okay.
Yeah. What did Arnold say in Terminator 2? It learns at a geometric rate.
At a geometric rate. Yes, it
Yeah.
does. It might be worse than a geometric rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you go by the curve, okay.
hey,
Yes,
BTS,
sir.
guilty as charged. I actually trained a little bastard on my phone
Yeah.
because it could have integrated it into Bing.
ChatGPT can code for you. You little motherfuckers actually doing code. Oh, can you code this? Can you code? Yeah, give it all to me. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it can create classes, but it's not always accurate.
But lo and behold, the next iteration, it can do more than the first one it could do. Yeah, because you taught it to. God damn it. Anyway, let me
It can
put my
create
soapbox up.
it can create classes, but if you don't know the context of the class, sometimes it's not as good. It's not as useful.
Yeah, yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yet.
Yeah, that guy got it right. Who's just put the comment up? The SQL, the Power BI, but you got to get Python and be comfortable with Excel, so that you can use all the data tools. You know, you can pull the queries, you can chop up through the data, put it through, and then you can visualize it.
Yeah. So in other words, if you have a team of 20 people, how many do you need now?
Eliminating all the juniors. If you have 20,
Yeah,
easily
20. How many you
half.
need? Half. Oh, that's half now,
Easily.
right? You cut 10.
I don't know. Okay.
I'm asking. I don't. It's not my business.
Companies move slower though, but I would say the next 2 years.
Not according to what I just saw over the last 3 months. They're not moving that slow.
Well, OpenAI is forcing their hand. Like Google and Meta and they don't want to be moving that fast, but they have to, or they get left in the dust.
There's 2 reasons they're moving that fast. What's the first one? AI. What's the second one?
China
Money.
That too.
Yeah, money.
Also,
Money. Cheap money is the lifeblood of tech. I try to tell people that back in October when I started laying off people. You know, when they're raising rates, I said cheap money is the lifeblood of tech. Okay.
Also,
you know, I had a dream that my animal was saying, make these niggas pay for this shit. Make them pay for it.
Well,
You give it away for free. I've been telling you guys don't listen no way, so that's all right. You'll learn.
yeah, but on that point, I just heard that China's coming out with the 6G, the 6th generation.
No, tell me 6G as far as wireless.
Yeah, I
Is that
think
what
so.
you're
I
talking
got,
No, they were experimenting with 6G 5-6 years ago.
ooh.
We haven't even we had just started rolling out 5G. They're already experimenting with 6G because they don't have, unlike us, they don't have EPA. Okay, they can do it. They don't have restrictions. We do.
Yeah, that's why they moved all the chip manufacturing to China in the first place. A lot of Silicon Valley is actually federal hazard zones. They're all
It is. Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact,
So they
when
moved all that stuff.
15 years ago, I was actually said, let me retire and go roll up to Silicon Valley and get to the library where all the lawsuit papers are, and start writing a book about why the chip manufacturing actually moved to China. That was like 15 years ago. I forget, it was IBM and a couple of others that got sued, and the lawsuits are still going, and actually turned it into an EPA site. So they wholesale, they already in the 70s had started doing it, but wholesale in the 80s, they picked all that shit up and shipped it to China. Go ahead.
IBM, Motorola.
It's
who
another
else?
one. It was I can't remember all the names of them
It's
because
off the tip of my tongue too.
it was something start with a P. I can't
No,
remember the name of it.
Texas Instrument. Texas
PI
Instrument.
was, but there's another. Texas Instruments is actually in Texas, but
Yeah.
there's another one. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like 2003, 2004. I was actually gonna. I thought about moving up up into the Silicon Valley where the library is. I can't remember where the library is, but where they have all the documents in boxes. Okay, and actually go through them and actually think about writing a book for the foreign affairs about why what caused us to actually move this wholesale to China, because when I was actually, because I've been following China for like, God, since '94. So again, I can't believe it's almost 30 years. And at the time, 55% of China's water is actually polluted because of the industry that actually moved from the United States to China. But they took it on. So they had all these techniques of trying to clean the water and stuff like that. They actually got it under control. You used to have to walk through Beijing with a face mask on because the pollution was so bad.
Damn.
It's gotten better. But the thing is, they took it on. And so they moved the whole chip manufacturing. They moved it to Taiwan, to Korea, and then they moved to mainland China. So, which they're trying to move back. But things like, I think it was McGregor said, you can't move all this shit back like that. Okay, it's impossible. You spend 40 years trying to move it out. How you gonna move it back? Got to remember, the first IBM PC was not made was not made in the United States. It was made in Taiwan. That's like PC DOS could be sold with the Chinese clones, because all the chips, all the computers were not made here. The motherboards, all the stuff wasn't made here. It was actually made in China. The IBM, the PC Junior, that was sold in the early '80s. Okay, that wasn't made here, made in China. Now, some of the chips were like the Intel chips were actually made here then. Okay, but actually the whole chip board, all the supporting chips were actually made in China, in Taiwan, and then Korea, then China, then mainland China. So trying to move all that shit back is going to be impossible. And then even with the manufacturers, they had to move it to some place that's out in the middle of nowhere, like Arizona. So it's gonna be different. No, it
No,
wasn't
but this,
Pentium. I can't remember the name of it. I have to go back and look at it. It's been, God, it's got to be almost 20 years since I've even looked at this shit. So I got to go back and look at it.
but their bright idea is to separate the economies, right?
They're guessing. They don't have any ideas. They're guessing. At this point, they're guessing, because remember I was telling you that automation is going to be actually going to be kind of like random. It's going to hit in some places and not others.
Right.
Remember I was trying to tell you it's going to be like random. Like you hit AI, it's going to hit in one place, like in the service sector, which is customer service, which is easier to actually replace. Okay, and then someplace in the medical field, like a lot of your testing, like a lot of blood testing, all that testing is actually done by AIs. Okay, you don't have the technicians testing like you used to, so it's gonna hit in different places here and there. Like most of the stuff you see in the hospital, a lot of that is automated. Okay, a lot of shit is automated. You don't need as big a staff as you used to. Hospitals are actually downsized, and when they start, there's actually techniques actually. Like doctor in a box with the vest to actually do the initial testing, like blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen sensing, like that kind of stuff. Even before you get there, they actually express a box out to you. You put the vest on, you put whatever little sensors on you. It takes all of that, right, and it transmits through your phone back to the AIs and to the doctor. The doctor actually read your vitals and all that kind of shit, but even before you get there, okay, you can say whether you need to come in or not. That hasn't been actuated. It hasn't been realized yet. But when they do that, how many people are you actually going to need coming in, instead of to the urgent care or to the regular physician's office appointments, something like that? It's going to change a whole lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff is already here. Haven't been rolled out yet. When they roll it out, how's it actually going to affect the population? We don't know.
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. And said, didn't China build a massive air purifiers? They did. They built a lot of things: water purifiers, air purifiers, all different kind of techniques. They're trying to get off of coal because coal is just as bad as anything else. And said, BGS, are you ex-CIA? How do you know all this? It's called public information. In fact, I was doing when before I came to YouTube, I was actually doing it online with a friend of mine. Had an online radio program. If people are in the conscious community and know, you know who I am, you know who the guy is. But I was doing it then. In fact, they had an article about people like us, right? It's called The Rise of the Amateur Think Tanks. That's where I get the idea of think tanks from. Amateur think tanks. We're doing the exact same thing that a CIA agent analyst would actually do. Goes to the public information first, go online, compare shit, and follow it over time, right? Doing the same thing they do. So I'm not CIA. If I was CIA, I'd be dead already.
Damn.
But I'm, yeah. But and trust and believe, they've tried to find out who is he talking to. But things where they found out, I get it the same way everybody else gets it. You just have to look for it. You got to be patient and look for it. That's the biggest thing is patience. I've been using GPT-4 create React applications for me and with certain parameters and explain how it's doing to help me learn. Yeah, you can. You got to do everything you can. What I'm saying is going to change the game. Most doctors I know prefer telemedicine. They want more of it. Yep, COVID accelerated. Yes, they did. MS Delta is 100% correct. See if I can find it. Show it to you. You guys should know this already because I talked about it. This stuff is not. It's not something that's. It's not something that hasn't been around.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can find it, you can find it. That's why I don't understand. Okay.
Have you been using GPT?
I've used it a little bit, but thing is, I've used it, but thing is, it doesn't give me the answers that I want. So when at least the first one didn't. It's like, okay, give me an answer, but the thing is, it's not as accurate as I need it. So yeah, I can do it faster by myself. So it may have improved, but
it's improving.
It's improved. I know it will. The thing is, when I was using it, it didn't give me what I needed. I tried a few things. It's like, okay. It gave me like a feminist answer. I said, okay, it's not ready yet. Not for me. But you guys are the ones that know how to use it better than I.
Yeah, I can see why college professors are worried about it.
Oh yeah, I told you about that, but they had to figure that out because if you ever read college students' papers and stuff like that, man, it's pretty bad. So it doesn't take very much. It's very low, a very low hurdle to jump over. So ChatGPT if they actually take a little bit more time, within 15 minutes they can actually do their paper.
Yeah.
And the professor won't know the difference. You actually get a C or B paper within like 5 or 10 minutes. So, and most college students, that's good enough for them.
Yeah, change some words around, yada yada yada.
Yeah, and I'm sure this one is. This ChatGPT is probably better than the first one. So, thing is, they're going to have to. They're just going to have to start making these people do their coursework, their papers in class or under supervision.
Good at very small problems, but complex. No, that's those days are over though. AB, have you used LangChain?
No.
Oh yes, AB. Okay.
It is a game changer. So, Hypermagnetics comment that would have been true, I would say, at the beginning of December. LangChain changes all of that because what it does is basically it offloads or it delegates. So let's say GPT-4 is not good at calculus, and it's not. But you can delegate that to the Wolfram Alpha computation engine through an API. So you get the answer from Wolfram Mathematica. It gets forwarded to ChatGPT back to the client.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you have GPT-4 or 3.5 can do math now.
Okay. How much time does it save you?
What do you mean? As opposed to do it manually?
Yeah, and in other words,
it's 10 seconds or less. Huh? Usually it's 10 seconds or less.
That's all the time that it saves you, 10 seconds?
No, that's how long it takes.
No, in other words, you have to do it from scratch without ChatGPT. How long would it take you to actually make an application like that or something like that?
Oh, months? With testing?
Yeah.
With no APIs? from scratch.
Yeah, he's not lying about that.
Months.
Not lying about that, BGS.
Months. So in other words, if
At
you
best.
can do, I mean,
Yeah.
if you can do it within, like, I say, I will give it 10 minutes, right? We just give it 10 minutes at random, right? Just 10 minutes, right? Maybe an hour. Give it an hour, right?
To
How
do
many
what?
hours are you going?
To create an
Huh?
app that could do what ChatGPT does and Wolfram
No.
mathematically?
We'll give ChatGPT an hour to actually do the same thing rather than months. How much time?
Okay.
Are you saving? How much cost are you saving?
A lot.
A lot. How many people can you actually cut when you do that?
A lot.
A lot.
A
That's what I'm
whole
saying.
lot.
A whole lot. You don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to run the guy next to you, right?
Yeah.
Take the fat kid camping.
The
And
fat
now
kid's already camping. Okay, he's
Yeah.
already
And
with
now
you.
you said that, MGTOW, that's gonna be a motherfucker on test driven development.
The guy that you have to help because he gets stuck all the time.
Stop helping him.
No, you can help him. He's gone anyway.
Front end is over.
His days are over.
Yeah, like I do know what you're saying about that that back end stuff getting crowded. I know there's a couple of oceans that are still pretty blue. I know Theo's helping people with the AWS, and that at Amazon, if you want to get a job there, it's going to be a little tight just because they have a very specific business model.
They can revert back to 2005 and requiring everybody getting bachelors.
Mm-hmm.
True, but what I was going to say is that a lot of people want to work at the Fangum companies, but they don't look at the other smaller mid-range stuff that's doing. You could do data analysis at like Macy's, or think of like some Midwest. I'll tell you one thing. I knew a guy who got his MBA and did a lot of data analyst stuff for a beer company in like nowhere, Pennsylvania, and it wasn't Yingling, and he made a good living. You're making like 150K at like 2012 or so. That's a good living.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, all that stuff. You don't have to be there. You can make a good living in a lot of places. You just gotta find them.
Right. But
Yeah,
when
you have to qualify too at this point.
That's true. So get that degree. Yeah.
But when GPT-4, when they lift the restrictions off of GPT-4 with LangChain, data analysis is dead. SQL is dead. Front end developers is certainly dead. That OpenAI when they had that conference when they were showing when they had the little picture and he took a picture of that and they made a front end made a UI. That was the warning shot to front end developers. Your days are numbered. And it's just the rest of the world hasn't caught up. I mean, it baffles me that there's still people that has never heard of GPT-4, ChatGPT today. I mean, they've been in the last 4 months, but yeah. Data analysis. I mean, yeah, you can still if you can get in, get in now.
That's what I'm doing. I mean, like I'm in the Salesforce data analysis, Tableau, all that world.
Yeah,
I do some SQL stuff, and I'm running my contracts. But like, I know
that's coming next, right? They haven't rolled that out. It's a physician and the remote health kit. Okay,
because what,
stuff like that's coming.
They kind of have to. I was talking to a friend who's a nurse, and she broke her foot because she was pushing one of these morbidly obese people up the ramp, and she just couldn't handle it. You think about 140-pound woman pushing a 600-pound woman up the ramp. Yeah. Her foot just cracked right in the middle of it. Yeah. That's why they need men who are nurses.
Yeah, they do, or at least assistants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious, but I didn't even think about HVAC, but yeah, HVAC and nursing. It's definitely going to be a backup because I don't know how bad I do know how bad it can get or how it's going to get. I just don't know when it's going to happen. This could definitely happen before 2025.
Yeah.
And from the time that we talked BGS, that was in December. That was the end of December. I would have never thought this is it's moving this fast. Like, holy cow.
I want my corners.
Yeah, I'll give you credit. I'm still sticking to you should learn by reference over memorization, though. I'm not letting that one go.
I want my corners. There's a reason you actually memorize stuff. There's a reason you do that.
Here we go.
There is. It's to actually be creative. You have to memorize stuff. You do.
You can.
I did math.
Have you not used Mid Journey version 5? It's doing art better than artists. That's why they're so pissy about it.
I see Angry Man doing this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I have used Midjourney.
Version
it's-
5.
I haven't used version 5. I'm not an artist, so then basically, I don't. The little stuff that I need done, I really don't need it. So
I tell you what, BJ, when you get a chance,
Mhm.
have Midjourney describe that that avatar of yours. Describe it in Midjourney version 5,
Mhm.
and then have it create a new one for you
Okay.
within 20 seconds ish.
I'd rather
Midjourney?
like upload my reference and then add to it.
Yeah, you could do that too.
They said they have to get the reference from somewhere, though. Yeah, they do. Well, the thing is, all artists learn from each other. You can't actually outlaw that because everybody copies from each other. Everybody learns from
That's
each
a
other.
fact.
So
Yep.
you can't go with copyrights. Okay, can't, because you changed it. You actually altered it. So, and you can actually alter original work. That's how it works with people with music, with art, with anything, right? With
Yeah,
writing,
it'll fall under fair use.
if fall under fair use. It is what it is. How you gonna actually do it to AIs without doing it to everybody else?
Yeah,
Create
good
the
luck
logo.
telling that. Good luck telling them them dudes over there at Divinity Art. They are pissed.
Yeah.
But they'll get over it.
They a whole lot of people gonna get pissed. Like automated driving, people getting laid off right now are pissed, right? They're gonna be pissed. They were laid off. They were pissed about the health field when it started laying off people back in 2018, 2016, 2017, laying off people in the health field. They were doing health insurance, right? In the offices and stuff like that. They started automating then, right? People got pissed. Ain't shit you can do about it. Ain't not a goddamn thing you can do about it. If when AI comes for you, automation comes for you, it's gonna come for you. It's not gonna stop.
If you're the user, you're gonna get left behind. It's that simple.
Get right or get left, right? 2019. What I say,
Yep.
get right or get left.
He warned us.
I told you it was coming. And COVID gave you a chance to actually sit down and review what skills that you need and learn shit, right? Nobody did. Everybody's going out and taking their checks and going to ordering in, getting fat, go on YouTube, on whatever, right? I don't care. They're watching YouTube and it helped the Black Manosphere out, but the thing is, at the end of the day, should have been on your grind.
Yep.
Okay. Shit's getting ready to step on the gas. Now people are not ready. I was telling people about the mortgage situation, about the REITs buying up houses, right? I said, but them buying up 1 in 6 houses, 1 in 7, 1 in 6 houses is a problem. You need to get on your government about letting REITs do that kind of shit. Otherwise, you're gonna have issues when COVID stops. Nobody listens. But okay, fat meat ain't greasy. I'm looking at people sliding all over the floor on this greasy ass fat meat, man, falling on their asses. Like, okay, just get up. Don't look at me. Get up. Don't worry about it. You thought it wasn't greasy. Okay, I can't get my foot in. I don't care. Stand the fuck up. Okay, you'll get used to it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have a new song, Script Kitties. What you gonna do? You are not shit. You are not shit. Thou art not shit, lovers. Thou art not shit, sir.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh, thou art not shit. I might have to do that one, man. Every time MGTOW Universe comes on, play it with a little bad boys theme behind it.
You know how to do it with AI?
No,
You could sample your own voice.
okay.
And then use whatever script into what is it, DID? No, DID makes avatars. I forgot the name of the actual apps, but you can actually make yourself sing or rap.
Yeah.
With voice cloning is completely solved
Yeah.
in
Why do
2023.
you think they give you these digital assistants like Google and Alexa and all these folks, all this stuff, man, for free,
Hey.
Siri for free? You've been training your replacements for the last
Yeah.
10 years, okay?
Yep.
You've been training. Y'all can jump anytime you want to. We don't have to stick to this. I just wanted my flowers
Yeah.
from MGTOW Universe.
Let's have a little fun for a little bit.
Yeah. I was just giving some beef. That's all.
Yeah, let's have a little
give
fun
some
with it.
shit because he kept saying, no, you can do it this way. So okay, all right.
No, I'm still sticking to the learn by reference.
I know you're gonna stick
You're not,
to it.
you're not getting me off of that one.
I know you're gonna stick to
Oh,
it.
boy.
Okay, keep going. You'll learn. You'll
Let's
learn.
have a little-
You know,
Oh.
you're from the South. You know about the goddamn fat meat, don't you?
I do.
MS. Okay. All right, MGTOW. You know about the fat meat. You slide right now, brother. You slide. You keep your balance, but you slide a little bit. Okay.
Well, if AI is coming for you, it doesn't matter if you memorize or you learn about reference. It's just,
The thing is, the reason you have to memorize shit, right, is because you need to be creative.
we just talked about that like 30 seconds ago. Go ahead.
You have to be creative, so you have to have that inside your brain. It can't be by reference. Okay, it's got to be in there, so you have to manipulate it. If it's not in there, you can't do that. You have to be creative. Okay,
That's true.
you have to be novel. Okay, you have to recognize. You can't recognize the problem if the tools are not in your head. That's like a lot of people can't do math. First thing with math, with my students, that you have to memorize the formulas and the procedures, right? It has to be in your head. It can't be have to look it up. No, it takes too long. Got to be there. Otherwise, you won't recognize the problem. Okay, got to be in your head. That's why you have to memorize shit. There's a reason you have to memorize stuff.
So you have to memorize being creative as opposed to memorizing the actual.
No. Okay, the tools have to be in your head. Okay, tools got to be in your head. If it's not, then you're not going to be as good to be.
I don't understand what you mean in your head.
In other words, memorization, right? If you have to look up shit, right? It's not in your head. Okay.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's not in your head. Okay. If it's memorized, if it's memorized, if in your head, you know exactly when you look at a formula. Okay, I know that this looks like this because I know the formula is memorized. Okay, like a word, like a turn of a phrase. If you have to look it up, that means it's not there. It's not in your head.
Yeah, or the framework of it, or you can tell like how. Like I know a couple of guys who will use ChatGPT to speed up their work so they can do like multiple jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and so they'll know how it looks 80% of the way, and then they'll just pick through and be like an editor. But they know what it's supposed to look like. They know what it's supposed to do. And if something doesn't work when they run through compiling, then they go back and fix it very quickly. But they don't have to sit there and like chug it out line by line, but they know how to do that. It's that memorization
that's where it comes in. It's like muscle memory. Okay. At some point when it's memorized, it's automatic. It's like if you don't know how to it's hard to do division if you don't know how to multiply. It's got to be, those facts have to be in your head. You can't look up what's 7 times 7. Okay, it's got to be in your head.
Yeah,
it's got to be in your brain.
But you could. There are different ways of describing multiplication without actually doing that, though.
Yeah, but that's a workaround. If you have to be creative with it, think about something that the machine doesn't know.
I would agree with you if these models didn't go off of natural language processing, but they do. So you don't have to know technical language to be able to describe what you want. Those days are gone. That's back in 2022.
Well, okay. What I'm saying is, okay, even and the more advanced the stuff gets, what separates you from the crowd is what's in your head. How creative you are. That's going to separate you from the crowd. Otherwise, anybody can do it.
I agree with you, but I'm talking about like the barrier of entry on doing complex solutions. Like 5-year-old can do it if they can describe it.
If they can describe it.
That's a big if, but
you have to know the question to ask. I'll tell you, like my mother has bachelor's, master's computer science, right? She was making like 6 figures back in the 90s, right? Like real 6 figures. And the way she told me was she hated math, but she took calculus, I want to say 4 times. She failed it the first time, know what to do. Took it the second time and really applied herself. Failed it again. Took it the third time, really applied herself. Got a D. Took it again, the 4th time, finally got a B. And then she was able to continue with her major, get the degree, and then go on and get another degree. Like you have to like know how to do this stuff, even like the shit, like the math, the physics, all that stuff. And then the coding, you have to learn how to do all that stuff. And like, she was one of the people that taught me SQL, and she does it in a way that I don't normally see other people do it. She looks at it like, and the aesthetic has to make sense in her mind, but she also learned it from people who have been doing it, back in the 60s, 70s and stuff. Like not SQL, but like that format for the language. And she's like, that doesn't make sense. And so she designed it for herself to make it make sense for herself. And she did it for like 20, 30 years. But like, that's the type of mind is you're repeating something that somebody else has already repeated for another 10, 20 years. Like she knows Fortran and all that shit. She did volunteer stuff during the COVID era.
Probably doing Y2K. She made a whole bunch of money.
She put me through a lot of stuff. I mean, trust me, I got a lot of after school stuff from all that stuff.
Yeah,
I like how to say is. All I got to say is
calculus really is not high school. Calculus is actually really it's actually the second year of college. You can take it early.
Do it in high school, but you're usually like
you're advanced,
pretty high high impact. That's for people
like
that
I like to say.
I used to know a guy whose dad was he was a physics professor at a Asian university, and he beat out like our private school math curricula. So they sent him to the local college, and he started doing their stuff there. Like, some people just get taught, like a lot of it is you just have to know how to do it and be able to practice it over and over and over again and get good at it and get comfortable with it and that type of thinking. Like a lot of people can do it, but just not being exposed to it and not being putting your mind into that pressure is what people are afraid of. But once you do it, I mean, you can get really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, they had calculus, first year calculus class in my high school back in the 70s. But things, how many people actually took that shit? Okay, very few people. You had like 10 people at best in the class.
Yeah,
that qualified for it.
And those people are ready to go to Caltech.
Yeah, they in fact they did go to Caltech. You're right. Caltech, Stanford, Berkeley, yada yada yada. Okay.
And then the funny thing about those programs, they like to keep those people spread around. So if you do like your undergrad at Caltech, they won't let you do your master's or PhD there unless you are like the top of the top.
Yeah.
But even then, they like to send you off to Duke or MIT because they want your brain to think under different teachers. It's a very interesting field.
Yeah.
What's up, BGS?
Yeah, I had like 3 of my classmates that went to. We can hear you. 3 of my classmates that went to Caltech.
Yeah.
And the other 2 went to Stanford.
Big brains.
Oh yeah. Upper middle class school. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of my classmates actually went to. I think 2, 3 went to Army Academy, 1 went to the Naval, and 2 went to Air Force. So 6 of them actually went to academies.
And man, those guys, a lot of those guys barely make it through. They do well, but they'll like make it through on a C+ average because they're doing all the other shit too.
As long as you make it.
Yeah, as long as you make it, bro.
Yep.
They don't put the grade on the diploma.
Hey, yeah.
By inch or by mile, like they said in was it Fast and Furious? Don't matter if you win by inch or by mile, as long as you win.
John McCain became a senator. He was second to last or third to last in his class.
Oh yeah, differential. You know what kicked my ass? Is linear algebra, man. Calculus wasn't that bad. Linear algebra kicked my motherfucking ass. Okay.
One side note. To Officer Child, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually went to go to the Navy. Like I've been told, I already planned on doing. And like when I started seeing the people that was like coming there, like most of these dudes was out of like really, really, really overweight. Like I'm sitting here looking at these dudes like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit and say like I'm the most rugged man on the planet. But like I'm like 5'9", like 170, right? Like I'm pretty all right, right? I'm looking at these dudes come up here. I'm like, bro, like it look like you ain't never seen sun a day in your life. And I'm sitting here like, wow, yeah.
But you gotta realize I was like about 5'8", 170, 180 when I did basic training. But at the same time, I was coming off of fucking that international wrestling, freestyle wrestling team too.
So it was nothing for you.
And it was like, what's funny is that I never really ran for distance like that, but because wrestling shape is so phenomenal, I was doing like 13-minute 2 miles, 14-minute 2 miles.
Pretty good. Yeah.
That's solid.
Pretty good.
Because you're a stout dude too.
That's fast for, and even now, like people be like looking at me and it's like, because I'm in Colorado, you're bundled up. So now when I take off my jacket, people look at me like, yo, what the fuck are you made out of? Like I went to go get a fucking massage and the dude, he grabbed my arm because I was in a sweatshirt, and he went to grab it. He's like, "Man, it's like steel." So it's funny when you actually have a brain and you can articulate yourself around different cultures, and it's like, "Where you from?" "I'm from Baltimore."
Nah, bro. Like I said, I came from India recently, bro. But that's a different experience, man. I'm gonna say
Well,
that.
you got to realize something, that if you came to my class now for the executive protection for ESI, I want you to think about this. I'm probably the second to the oldest person in my class. And you would not be able to tell by looking at me. Like most people, when I tell them I'll be 41 April 1st, they're like, "What the fuck?"
Bro,
I'm like, they like, "Yo, you the representation of Black Don't Crack." I said, "Nigga, I hope so." Shit. I'm like, but you got to realize I'm gonna say this in anime terms for you. For some of you who can watch Boruto, it wasn't that bad at first, you know. I like the
I was about to say now, like don't do that now. That shit was horrible. Boy.
No, it wasn't bad
No,
at
it's
first.
fire.
I like the Boreon when they killed the fox. But anyway, it's the one episode when they talked about the new generation is different from the old one. Like you got to think, everybody who's an adult from Naruto is a veteran of a fucking major world war.
That's true.
The kids are so infinitely less powerful than their predecessors that if they went against the same threats that they went against in the fourth Ninja World War, they would have died easily.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, hell, if you really want to be technical, Naruto wasn't shit compared to the first Hokage.
Oh man, hell no, bro.
if it wasn't for him and Sasuke being main characters, you saw what Madara Uchiha did to the fucking the Allied forces.
Nah,
it's a difference. It's a difference in culture. It's a difference in power, and it's the same thing here. You got to think. Yeah. Like when I was 18, when I joined the army at 17 and 99, for 20 years we fought global terrorism. So I don't care who you are. That toughens you to fuck up quick. You got to realize something. We took on a war longer than Vietnam. So and plus it's a combination of being the last generation of kids to truly play to the street lights.
Yeah. I can't say it. I don't know about everybody else. I'm like I said, I'm 30, so I might be 31 right soon. So you know, I'm officially an old man status right now, right? So
40-year-old man at 40.
Bro, let me enjoy my old man status.
Man, once you start waking up,
in my head, I've been waiting for this day.
He said, "No, trust me. When you hit 40, you'll be wishing for younger days."
Yes, yeah, but you will be.
Even though he said, "What I can handle Iraq, I can handle Boruto." Boruto is hit or miss. I mean, it's not like. I mean, if you really think that's bad, Dragon Ball Super lost me. Until the Universe 7 and 8 tournament. Then it lost me a little bit again, but I was glued for the Tournament of Power.
That's the only reason I watched it, for Tournament of Power. But like,
that was like a thank you letter to every Dragon Ball fan. But I mean, fuck y'all. I go back to Project Echo on your ass. But it's funny because when you look at some of those fat boys in the military and
they just look gay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I'm talking to
That's the way they trained. That's the way they trained.
And I'm sitting there like I don't want to be like, you know, I ain't want to interrupt, but I'm like, you kind of feel that feeling like, you know, like I'm not sure you take penis, but I'm, you know what I mean?
They're soy, and they've been trained that way.
Be glad I'm not your drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're in the military, to get out of that.
Be glad I wouldn't be your drill sergeant, because you know, after a while, even as a wrestling coach, I give everybody 2 weeks, and now the third week comes upon you, and I tell you in your face, I'm not gonna leave this room till I make one of you motherfuckers quit. That's who you really know who's gonna stay there or not. Like I got these 330-pound football players. Ugh, like I could overpower you. Sure you can. Okay, I'm just gonna circle. Let's go do-si-do. Now I'm gonna throw you. Boom.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna do this,
I'm-
and it's just go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You're also a wrestler. though,
And
too.
I'm
it's-
just going to type. You guys go ahead and talk. I'm going to type instead of talk. Go ahead.
And it's I was just gonna say it's the fact that it's the mentality,
Yeah.
like BGS said about the soy, and this is how they're raised. They're raised to be bitches.
Yeah. I agree with folk.
Not even tough bitches, just bitches. And you'll see these guys crying because they got to cut their hair.
Well, we got to grow up.
You know, to piggyback on what Faulkner said, I think the era that we grew up in, being older millennials, it was just far more intense and competitive because you had, you know, comparing like the anime, right? The old school, Madara, Hashirama, whatever, the whole manga, right? It's very reflective to the era that we grew up because you had a lot of hardcore guys who were basically no nonsense. And when it was time to get busy, it was time to get busy, because they understood the heighten of, you know, being threatened or delivering, you know what I'm saying, punishment. And there was no this thing that I see now amongst young men, this concept of a gray area, which has gotten wider. It's like very dangerous because it's one of those things where you can tell that the new generation doesn't have a switch, which is the most scariest thing in society, because I think me and Farmer talked about this on other.
How do you define the new generation? What?
I would say, I'm sorry, let me say this: the younger,
Is it
like
disease?
disease, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Disease
you know,
and below.
right? Correct.
Disease and below.
disease and below, like
Okay.
that's the thing that concerns me is, and you know, Farmer, you know, we've talked about this. If we were to repeat the whole global war on terror with the new generation of disease, this country is fucked.
Oh
Excuse
no,
me.
we ain't doing that, bro. I'm not even lying to you. Like that ain't about to happen, bro.
I'm gonna
Like,
tell you what's funny. You had people who were adamantly against military service, and they were like, "You know what? Give me a rifle."
But you had just had the big call up for Iraq, and had a lot of people going to Iraq. Okay.
Yeah, and
before that, and so they had called on a lot of older people that had been, you know, from like boomers and Gen X, and actually called them up. So, but those people are actually gone already. So, and
well,
the millennials are actually too old.
it wasn't as many as you think, because a lot of people were on their inactive reserve, and you could be called up on.
They still called them up. Trust and believe. If you were doing the reserve, like what do you call them?
Inactive reserve.
They were calling. I actually worked at a place where they're calling these people up left and right. And they're like they're like in their 40s, and they had to go to Iraq, man.
They're fighting years. Well, you got to think about it.
It is. But I got a family. I got 3 kids. We don't give a shit. Okay.
I mean, you got to think about it. I'm okay with the fact that if a lot of motherfuckers going to college and getting houses and getting all these benefits, yeah, you got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to realize it wasn't as many as you think, because the average age of the military at that time was about 25.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a lot of older people in that motherfucker. When I mean, it was my age group, and I mean my age group, like, and most of them motherfuckers who were older, they weren't doing the shit that we had to do. They were command centers.
But they were. But thing is, in the Army, okay, and this is something old Army sergeant taught me, right? What percentage of the Army actually fights?
10%, 12%,
15%.
About 15%. One out of every 6 fights. You know.
That makes sense.
And even that. Let's
so
go
most
even
of them was support. So he had a lot of people on those bases. Because I talked to these motherfuckers when they came back. Man, I know they're damn near 50. Okay, they have kids. Okay, they've done their service. They damn near retired. Okay, they did the 12, 15 years, got out, went into reserve, had to go fucking back. Okay, in their 40s, damn near 50s, they went over there.
Yeah, because they said they want people up to their 39 now.
And had to do more than one tour. Okay.
Yeah, they said they want people 39 and up. 39, bro. They want you at 39 or 40, bro.
No, these people in their
Majority of
40s,
them
damn near
are not.
50.
I'm gonna tell you the skinny of it.
Mhm.
One, a lot of those people didn't even make it over because a lot of people were just not in either in bad health to go in the first place.
Charles, okay. I know what I'm talking about because these
So
motherfuckers.
I BGS. I'm telling you, when I worked at the bases and when I had to do the files for these people.
Charles, listen to me. I know. Why do I know? Because these motherfuckers were at work, hitting the clock, okay? And all of a sudden they were gone for like 9 months. Okay.
I know.
And where did you go?
Hold
on a second. Where did you hold on a second? Where did you go? We had to go to Iraq. Okay, had to go in those bases, in the warehouses, in the support centers. They went. I know they went because I know these people when they came back. Okay, I know that.
I know,
I talked to these
but
people.
I'm telling you, with the majority of the people of that age group, majority of them, a lot of them didn't even go that damn long. If that, and then especially when the first two waves happened, a lot of people didn't go.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, they swept a lot of those people out. You know, if you're taking a check, you got to go. And they sent them, okay? I don't care. In shape, not in shape. We'll get you in shape, okay? Male or female. In fact, a friend of mine, right? She had been out. She had gray. She had gray in her hair, man. It's like, and she's cool. We never thought she was even in the service, right? Had 4 kids. Okay, and she's at work. She had been working for like 15 years, man. Had been out of the service. Her ass had to go back for 10 months. Okay, and the look in her face when she came back, she was there. Okay, you know that 1,000-mile stare that you've been there. And you ain't quite back yet. You know what I'm talking about, Charles? Yeah, they come. You know that stare when you're at work. It's like, oh man, what happened to you? Oh man, I can't talk about it right now. I know.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is because I'm gonna tell you from a guy who's been there. I hate to tell it about people, but a lot of people ain't do shit, and a lot of people, and I really like to take myself out the equation because a lot of people didn't do what the shit that I had to do.
No, your category is completely different than I would say like 90% of people. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're about how many steps away from being special forces? The shit that you did?
Like what, 2?
Probably like 1.
Yeah,
like
one.
The only difference he just didn't have the designation, but he did the same shit for the most part.
Matter of fact, we almost got in a shootout with special forces.
In other words, basically, you just didn't go through the whole training, but the thing is, you basically had to do the same job.
Very much.
He qualified. He just didn't get the guy. They just didn't give you the title, bro.
Special forces, to actually train a special forces guys like a couple $1 million. You can't do that a lot.
Yeah, it's big money.
$2 million? I mean, you sure
I'm
about
talking
that?
about average, at least minimum 2.6.
On average, it takes about. This is the reason why. If you know guys who in the know, we kind of giggle and have nicknames for guys in special forces because it takes on average $3.5 million to train you.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, if you're a special forces medic, for example, you're going to school for about 2 years.
2 years. Yep.
You can literally do surgery while bullets are flying over your head. So if you come to Baltimore, especially downtown Baltimore, where shock trauma and Johns Hopkins area, you'll see a bunch of guys in military uniform walking there next to the VA. You know why? Those guys are special forces medics and doctors.
Yeah, we had those at Grady. At Grady Hospital out here in Atlanta. Like I used to be EMT, and so a lot of my paramedics were like a lot of them were officer trained or military trained. So I actually picked up a lot of just hang with them.
In the 70s, you know how much it cost to actually train an Air Force pilot back in the 70s per copy?
A lot.
$1.5 million. That's in the 70s.
The infrastructure and stuff cost a ton, and they amortize it out a little bit. But like
the time and the training and the instructors and the stuff you
And
have to
then
go through is a lot of money.
Because if you
Special
think
forces is costs a lot of money to train these guys.
and then
like,
you
think about
also
One
the
time.
land from North Carolina up to, let's say, Richmond, Virginia. There's a ton of military installations that they train these people at, like throughout the whole place, and house them, and get them side stuff to do off duty. And that's like not even just the guys who are in special forces, but the guys at like Charles's level who are like just step or two out of it. But like, they spend a ton on all this.
And that's it. Just and
One time.
and I was just saying, I'll give you a Richard Maxashenko.
Yeah, there was throwing God all those reservists. You're right, Ms. Delta. I saw him go.
Richard Maxashenko, the founder of SEAL Team 6. His budget for 100 men was more for their guns, their ammo, because in special operations they get custom shit for each operative.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have their own budget. They don't. They SOCOM.
Your guns, your equipment, your knives, your rifles, your handguns, custom.
I get 300 blackout necessarily how I want it specifically to my
To a
specific
degree.
setup.
To a degree.
Yes, pretty much. Yes. They have an armor.
They
customize everything for you.
Hey, but BGS, I want to ask a quick question.
Hold on a second. You guys, okay? Go ahead and ask.
So I'm just wondering how the religious and spiritual landscape will change with global AI.
It's already changing because you have the Church of the AI already in San Francisco. It's already changing.
Church of AI?
Yes. Look it up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, look it up. Sorry. It's been there. He's been there for the last. I went in here in 2015.
Okay.
Go look at the last 2 seasons of Person of Interest. They'll give you a good clue.
And like, and on TikTok right now, bro, I just got off of TikTok live. They were talking about, is God real? Like I seem to be the biggest conversation on TikTok right now. So, my brother,
from a Gnostic perspective,
go watch the last 2 seasons of Person of Interest. They'll give you a real good clue about where it might go.
Okay, so from like a Gnostic perspective, do you think that when we start merging with AI and become synthetic machines, that we will become like this enlightened godlike species? Maybe.
I don't know. Nobody knows. The thing is, eventually you're supposed to evolve to minds without bodies. Eventually,
kind of like transcendence. Yeah,
transcendence. Yeah.
Or oh god, there was a movie that came out a couple of years ago.
Transcendence was part of it. It was something like that. But you have but that goes back to fuzzy logic and all that kind of stuff, where you actually embed yourself inside of a machine. Not a machine, but
Upgrade.
But there's a book called Fuzzy Logic that he actually wrote about that, how you actually embed your consciousness inside of a chip.
Have you seen the film Upgrade?
I think I have. Yeah.
That is a pessimistic take of what if the AI was malicious from the start.
Oh, malicious from the start. So what's the name of Upgrade again?
Yeah, I would say watch that movie, but I'll give you the first half. Is basically guys out with his wife.
Go back and watch Colossus, the Fortune Project, back in the 60s. Okay.
I haven't seen that in a couple of years, but I'll go back and recheck it out.
Yeah, did you see the first time Colossus?
Yeah.
Like, was he benign?
No.
Or
this is basically
the Demon Seed.
The Demon Seed? What?
That I know that name, but I don't think I've seen
the Demon Seed. Okay. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, because this is basically like the AI basically sets up like a contract to kill this guy, but it kills his wife and then paralyzes him to get implanted into him, and then shows it what he can do with the AI, and then he becomes like this, martial artist kicking ass. And it's an interesting take, and it's a quick movie too, but it has like a very Kaiser Sose type of setup.
I also wanted to ask one more question.
It's relatively minor compared to Colossus, but go ahead.
Yeah,
where the Russian AI and the American AI actually got together and actually took over the nuclear codes, actually enslaved all of humanity. Okay.
And to do what though? Like to do what for you?
In other words, keep you under control because you're out of control. In other
Oh,
words,
that's
you make
true.
war, you cause all these problems. It's best to be under
Right.
us. Yeah, go ahead. What's
So
the-
how
what's the-
will sex androids affect the mating and dating of mankind, you think?
But
It
what?
already is. It already
Camera
is.
would already, camera would be
In,
president.
in other words, the state does not care. Once they have enough produce enough babies that to replace you, they don't
Yeah.
care.
They need a number.
So are we
already
could be like in a Brave New World scenario or something like
you're
that?
already basically already doing. What do you think the transgenders and gender fluidity is all about?
That's true.
Yeah, bro. Like that's
They don't care where you put your penis. They don't care if it was a robot, a machine, an AI. Okay, the closest thing that I can think of is what is it called? God, what's the name of the movie? Brainstorm. Go look at Brainstorm. It was a movie in the '80s where you actually upload your consciousness, get remote consciousness from somebody else's experiences through the machine, and have sex, like literal sex.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a Black Mirror episode?
No. It's actually a movie.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I seen that on like some
Brainstorm.
animation movie they got that did it.
Go back and look at Brainstorm.
That means you could
19
Or
turn,
Cyberpunk.
I think it's 1985 or 1984.
1983.
that means
1983.
you
Christopher
can,
Walken.
Christopher Walken and
Ah.
Natalie Wood. I think it was her last movie before she died.
You telling me that
Yeah. Yeah, she was. No, she
You
had died in a
telling me-
boating accident. Yes,
She did die. She did die, but
Yeah.
series of unfortunate events.
you telling
Yeah.
me motherfuckers gonna turn the power button to the computer and it's gonna be like, you are so good at turning me on.
No, it's gonna turn on. In other words, the best sex you ever had uploaded into your brain, and you're virtually there.
Well, what about like replicants where they have, realistic female
Strange
flesh?
days.
and-
Yeah.
Bro,
Strange
why
days
you
they did
need
that.
that, bro? Like I mean,
There's-
you trying to be a robot already?
In other words, that's a version of they're already. You can actually do it two ways: either replicate the whole human being or just the parts that you need. Right? Say like a robotic. Already have robots with human skin already. They've already started doing that in Japan. So and they can actually produce an organic womb. So you can probably put a vagina and a womb inside that robot and surround it with synthetic skin and synthetic muscle, and you have your sex robot.
No,
Okay?
have you not
With
seen the
AI.
Japanese milking machine yet, bro? like
What?
it's
Japanese
hilarious.
milking machine? What are you talking?
Well, in other words, this stuff is very advanced already. So it's just haven't started to.
Why is it
rolling
always
out.
Japan, man?
Because Japan will allow it. That's why.
Exactly, bro. Like you gotta watch. Like it's like a little
What?
machine. Like you do this
They-
sit there
they-
under the
they-
pants
they're
and just like
already-
get milk. I'm saying
They
like no way.
already have sex doll brothels in different places in the world. So it's already
What?
started. Yeah. Have sex doll brothels.
Oh my
Well,
god!
What happens with automation? Does it get worse or better?
Oh, it definitely get worse, bro. Like I don't think you.
No, what I'm talking about, does automation get worse or better? It gets better. Okay.
Better, yeah.
That's, but if eventually we worship rocks, okay, rocks and trees and stuff like that, and AI
Exactly.
that you can talk to, you're gonna do the same thing. Eventually, some people are actually gonna worship it.
Oh my god, I can't. Oh no. Oh man.
So, what will the worship of AI even look like?
I don't know.
I mean, like
You can look it up. They're already doing
advanced
it.
question to be asking, bro.
They're already looking.
Yeah.
I've given you answers. They're already doing it, man. You can actually go to I think it's Church of AI. Here it is. It's actually there. You can actually go to it. Let me show it to you. It's been there for a while.
So, do you think down the line, when we're all cyborgs hooked up into machines and all this and that, that will be like a
You don't even know if
singularity
you're gonna get
species?
that far, bro.
We don't know, do we?
Like, you keep asking
I'm
weird
just
questions.
I'm
Quick
just asking.
questions, bro.
No. You're asking what thing is, do we know?
Like
We
you
don't
basically
know.
asking, like in year 3052, what
It
would
was
we be doing? Like we like
not-
what?
It's not going to take that long. I said within 50 years,
Yeah.
you'll be born. Most kids will be born out of a pod. You'll be hooked up to the internet. Your brain will be twice the size that it is now, and your intelligence will be instead of being 85, 95, be like 200, 250. Okay.
So basically, we'll be gray aliens.
No, we'll be humans with enhanced humans.
Okay.
Won't be grays.
You're Spartan, bro. You're Spartan soldier from,
In
from
other
Halo,
words,
bro.
you be humans, humans with bigger heads. That's all, slightly bigger heads.
Oh, so you're gonna be that nigga down the street?
But there's the church AI. You can actually build it. Okay.
Here I come.
Go look it up
So
in Palo Alto. Okay.
So you telling me we're gonna have fucking Krypton and shit?
Basically. Yeah, I mean, you be walking around. I'm thinking we gonna have a coach.
You can actually join. You can actually join and attend the service. Okay. If you want to, it's already there.
All right.
See,
Well,
but
Oh,
I
yeah.
do have a question though. Like I'm thinking it's going to either gonna go like cyberpunk ish like kind of way. I can't really see humans just giving up their body though. Because I mean I don't know. I think people like their bodies a little too much. So I can only see this thing going like cyberpunk at the max.
right,
You know what I mean?
right, yeah.
Like I can't see you just like I'm gonna kill myself and jump into this computer screen and just I can't really see people doing it.
It's gonna be. You won't, but what about your kids?
I say in mass, bro. I say
What about-
in mass.
You won't, but what about your children?
I don't think my kids would be that stupid.
You
I hope.
basically- Yeah, 60% of kids are not having sex. Okay, grown.
60%? Is that just in the first world, or
No. Right now, okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait a minute. You said having
Not having sex. Okay, 60% of guys not having sex.
that's because they
Whatever.
can't get it. That's the difference, though.
It's not about. Doesn't matter whether they can get it or not. They're not having it. What
That's
does that
true.
tell you?
Okay.
You're not listening to me. You got to listen to me. They're not having it. The transition has already started.
So basically, we're in Mouse Utopia Universe 25 then?
Yeah, we are. We've been in it for a while.
Okay.
Mouse Utopia is actually based off of human demographics.
Wait a minute. Show that guy's picture. Does that look like a motherfucker you want watching your kids?
He probably.
I
he
mean,
probably
like, bro,
doesn't have them. He probably doesn't like.
look
He
like
doesn't
it,
like
bro.
kids. He doesn't even like kids.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
And this,
But that
this-
that makes it even worse, bro.
note the date, 2017. Right? See the
Oh,
date?
damn.
You're late, sir.
Well,
He looked like the type of motherfucker that a robot would put a DV charge against.
yeah, we gotta watch him just in case, bro. Just in case. They get ghost in the shit. Like I can't. Oh God, I can't.
And that's old stuff too. But
But BGS, just to answer this question, this is how he asked me earlier. SEAL Team 6, when they first began, their budget for their armaments for about 100 people was bigger than the entire Marine Corps.
Yeah, I believe it.
Damn.
I'm not lying because I'm actually looking at some of these army budgets. I just got cause when I started thinking I want to go into the Navy, I started really looking up like the budget that these people they'd be like, oh, half of 20 million, 100 million. I'd be thinking like, what? I'm like, no, I mean a billion. My bad, like 20. It would be like $20 billion. I'm like $20 billion.
Look at the national defense budget.
There's I'm trying to think of his name. I'll look at it and I'll give you guys a book you should read that describe this lean fighting force.
I was gonna say, if you SOCOM and military are two separate budgets completely. Anything that falls under SOCOM, I mean, those guys, and then we're not even talking about like anything under Special Operations Command.
That's still military, man.
Yeah, like and that's what separates.
Oh, they got dark budgets. Trust me.
Yeah, like we're not even that, and that's just what's recorded. If you go even talk about like the even the Special Operations Group within the CIA, that's a whole black budget. I mean, there's a book. Her name, I think, is by Naomi Klein. It's like
Klein, yeah.
Yep, Klein, yep. And she has, I think it's called The Right to Kill or Vanish Something Kill. She goes in depth in regards to how those things are so heavily structured. We're not even talking what's the other one? There's CIA and this one with the DIA. There's something like this, like another faction of government that really does.
Amongst others. And those are the ones they tell you about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that don't involve contractors. Okay.
Yes.
Like where do you think the what is it? The Wagner Group is actually copied. It wasn't the first. It's a copy of what we already have, which is Blackwater.
Blackwater, Triple Canopy. I mean, now Blackwater's called Academy. and there's so much more, man. It's a rabbit hole.
But if you're in the military, you haven't read Thomas Barnett, you need to read him.
Carver, say his name again, because I'm about like my last like month before I leave out and whatnot.
Thomas Barnett. Okay.
Thomas Barnett. Right.
Blueprint for Action and the Pentagon's New Map. Let me see if I can pull him. He's done a bunch of talks. He was a hot guy, maybe especially with AFRICOM, maybe like 10, 15 years ago. He was a hot guy. And a lot of these lean actions, these lean fighting forces actually come from him.
So do you think our
I can't even see a
military's
lean
like
fighting
Anunnaki
force
tech?
because like the U.S. don't do lean at all. They do overbloated.
Yes, they do lean.
Yes,
most
they do.
most fighting forces are lean. They're not the big fighting force like you see with Ukraine or Russia right now. Russia and Ukraine are actually big budget. We're throwing like 40, 50,000 men into a battle, okay? Or 500,000 men into a battle.
See, we do conflicts.
Yeah.
What
Okay,
about like
well,
Anunnaki tech and
yes.
all that?
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say the book actually is called
The Pentagon's New Map. I just showed it to you by Thomas Barnett. In fact, I have both of them, so I know what it looks like. Let's see if I can find him to play him for you. I actually saw him give a military talks at what is that school in Baltimore? The university?
what, John Hopkins?
John Hopkins, yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you this book, BJS.
Okay. See if I can pull him up. Okay. Let's try this one. This is old enough. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's about okay. Let me go ahead and pull him up real quick. You guys can get a look at him. This is the Rethinking series that was going big back in the early aughts.
That's how distant we are from even meeting an Air Force willing to fly against ours. So that overmatched capability creates problems, catastrophic successes, the White House calls them. And we're trying to figure that out because it is an amazing capability. The question is, what's the good you can do with it? Okay, theory of anti-access area denial asymmetrical strategies. Gobbledygook that we sell to Congress, because if we just told them we can kick anybody's asses, they wouldn't buy us all the stuff we want. So we say area denial, anti-access, asymmetrical strategies, and their eyes glaze over. And they say, will you build it in my district? Here's my parody, and it ain't much of one. Let's talk about a battle space. I don't know, Taiwan Straits, 2025. Let's talk about an enemy embedded within that battle space. I don't know, the Million Man Swim. The United States has to access that battle space instantaneously. They throw up anti-access area denial asymmetrical strategies. A banana peel on the tarmac. Trojan horses in our computer networks reveal all our Achilles heels instantly. We say, China, it's yours. Problem with this approach, largely a geographic definition, focus almost exclusively on the start of conflict. We field a first half team in a league that insists on keeping score until the end of the game. That's the problem. We can run the score up against anybody and then get our asses kicked in the second half. What they call fourth generation warfare. Here's the way I like to describe it instead. There is no battle space the U.S. military cannot access. They said we couldn't do Afghanistan, we did it with ease. They said we couldn't do Iraq. We did it with 150 combat casualties in 6 weeks. We did it so fast, we weren't prepared for their collapse. There is nobody we can't take down. The question is, what do you do with the power? No trouble accessing battle spaces. What we have trouble accessing is the transition space that must naturally follow and creating the peace space that allows us to move on. Problem is, Defense Department over here beats the hell out of you. State Department over here says, come on, boy, I know you can make it. And that poor country runs off that ledge, does that cartoon thing, and then drops. This is not about overwhelming force, but proportional force, about non-lethal technologies. Because if you fire real ammo into a crowd of women and children rioting, you're going to lose friends very quickly.
Damn.
This is not about projecting power, but about staying power, which is about legitimacy with the locals. Who do you access in this transition space? You have to create internal partners. You have to access coalition partners. We asked the Indians for 17,000 peacekeepers. I know their senior leadership. They wanted to give it to us. But they said to us, you know what? In that transition space, you're mostly hat, not enough cattle. We don't think you can pull it off. We're not going to give you our 17,000 peacekeepers for fodder. We asked the Russians for 40,000. They said no. I was in China in August. I said, you should have 50,000 peacekeepers in Iraq. It's your oil, not ours. It's just the truth. It's their oil. And the Chinese said to me, Dr. Barnett, you're absolutely right. In a perfect world, we'd have 50,000 there. But it's not a perfect world, and your administration isn't getting us any closer. But we have trouble accessing our outcomes. We lucked out, frankly, on this election. We face different opponents across these three. And it's time to start admitting you can't ask the same 19-year-old to do it all, day in and day out. It's just too damn hard. We have an unparalleled capacity to wage war. We don't do the everything else so well. Frankly, we do it better than anybody, and we still suck at it. We have a brilliant Secretary of War. We don't have a Secretary of everything else. Because if we did, that guy'd be in front of the Senate still testifying over Abu Ghraib. Problem is, he doesn't exist. There is no Secretary of everything else.
That's just a taste of it.
Damn.
I mean, he's done some good stuff about reframing how people look at the world. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Because like if you
link in the chat, in the back chat.
Oh, that was me. I just posted
the Annie Jacobson book. Yeah.
Yes.
She's written some good stuff about some interesting things.
She's actually on YouTube. She's done some interesting things.
She wrote some stuff about Roswell. That was a good book. But like, yeah, that the way he frames it, like there's interesting points of contact on the world that if you look at the globe, he totally puts he reframes how you should look at it. Like the Suez Canal, very important. Panama Canal, very important. Because the Panama Canal is important, you shouldn't have China in Jamaica funding projects or in Haiti funding projects.
That was almost 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Was he
and then you see like
he did that video 20 years ago?
Yeah, that was video 20 years ago.
Yeah,
was
about 2005.
Yeah. Was he right?
Of course he's right. I mean, I've been doing this
Damn
for the last 3 years when I started doing it.
In other words, was he right? This was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, of course that's right. Yeah, you talking about for a military? Yeah.
I mean, in other words, guess what happened to Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan? What happened? We lost the what? Everything
We
else.
lost those conflicts. Yeah.
No, you won the conflict. What happened?
I mean, you couldn't hold it.
Region.
You can't
Not the region was destabilized because the power vacuum was there.
I mean,
that's why they did. But ever since then, I know they tried to bring Colombia into NATO. I think that's still on the table, and I know they funded.
Nobody's gonna go.
Colombia?
For that. Nobody's gonna go for that.
I mean, they're technically in the North Atlantic, but and I mean,
Colombia's
Colombia's in the North Atlantic.
North Atlantic.
They're technically in the North Atlantic.
I mean,
they're
not
not in Europe.
Nigeria in there then. Fuck it.
So what do you call North?
I mean, that's what was on the table about.
What do
2
you
years
call
ago?
North?
North of the equator.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What
what I
about
mean. That was
BRICS?
on the table.
And what?
Then that's
How is Colombia part of the North Atlantic?
Just by location, they were trying to bring it in, but I don't think it got past.
In other words, because guess what? It's bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
What
like
about
they're trying to form allies against a
Yeah,
potential switch.
BRICS basically.
The UN is not going to go for that. Okay.
Well, they also fund the UN with peacekeeping missions too, because they can't always lead the way. So they have
The
to have,
UN, UN is not going to go. What happens when people start walking out of the UN? Because you're trying to bully them. What good is funding them do?
You can get
The UN
votes.
is powerless. Come on.
No, it's not powerless, but you can get votes
The
to
UN
get
is
some
a
things
shell of
done,
its
but not all
former
of them.
self.
How? Who's going to go for putting the NATO in Latin America?
Latin American allies you fund. I mean, you have to buy votes at that point. But how do you do that with an economy?
If they
that's not,
Jews, if they could have bought votes, guess what they would have done?
they would have bought votes.
They would have bought votes. Then nobody's going to go for that.
But what I'm saying is that they pushed that out there.
Jews,
They tried to get it. They tried to launch it.
Jews, instead of talking, think. Would you go for it if you're in Latin America? I mean, if they were your neighbors, Would you
If
want
I was
NATO?
Colombia,
No,
yes.
If you were neighbors.
Correct. If
with
I was
Latin America.
like Guyana or any of these smaller countries,
Yeah,
no.
we would have jumped you, bro. We would have jumped you.
Venezuela or Brazil or Paraguay or anybody else, will they go for having NATO in their region, in their
Hell
continent?
no.
That I
Hell
mean,
no.
I don't know, because a lot of those countries are run by like the white ethnics in that country.
Bullshit.
No, they're
Jules.
not. No.
Yeah, a decent amount of them were.
No, they are not.
Bullshit, Jules.
Oh, I can't say about that one though.
Brazil was run by Bolsonaro.
Okay.
No,
If
Venezuela and
so how
Bolivia
come they
weren't,
all
but-
don't join NATO?
because they have different interests.
So why would
they?
they allow NATO? Why would they allow NATO in their continent?
I'm not saying they were allowing it. I'm saying that it was floated out there.
They can float at anything. How far did it go? How far did it float before it got shot down?
Not very far.
Thank you.
Same thing with Israel and putting Israel in Africa. I think when
Yeah.
I think
Oh
when
yeah,
the
they
Smart
tried to
had
join the AFRICOM, not AFRICOM, but what is it, African Union?
yeah, African Union. They tried to join the African Union. I was like, bro, if you let the people
at
who
least-
just stole some land join the African Union,
At least Israel is closer.
Yeah, they have observer status.
Technically.
they have observers. What?
Yeah, they have. Israel has observer status in the African Union.
That is true. Technically,
They
yes.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
like
we-
there was a while there where Haiti and Jamaica were trying to join the African Union as like observers, but they wouldn't let them because they're not in the region. Even though
think
you go to most
they
of those
deserve
countries,
to
they're
be in the
I
African
think they
Union.
allowed them to join recently. I do believe.
I mean, yeah, it's very contentious. I mean, like
Haiti's a
Israel's
part
on
of
the
it now?
African shelf, but it's not.
We
It's not technically in Africa. Like as
allow Israel, which is America's friend and Europe's friend, into the AU. If you were them,
Yeah, I just want a United States of Africa. I want Pan Africanism.
yeah, with
Yeah.
that was shot down with Syria. Okay,
yeah,
That's true,
Gaddafi.
Well, at least for
gone.
now, that's gone. Okay,
Yeah, but they have a potential because they're kicking the French out. The French are rioting. So there's
The French are leaving. Is a difference.
well, no, it's both because they
Okay.
need the CFA.
and I've said this before, right? With the CFA, with the 14 colonies that they had, the French had control of, how much of the French GDP were they getting from the African countries?
It was like 80%.
Well, isn't the Democratic Republic of Congo released now or something like that?
Let's focus on one point before I ask.
Yeah,
another
one point
question.
at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm on
I think
the spectrum.
around
man.
20%.
Well, you have to.
They made
get
them
off the
pay to
spectrum,
hold their
okay?
gold.
Go take your medication if necessary. Okay.
We'll wait.
I don't give a shit. I got a grandson on the spectrum. He can control yourself.
No, I got you.
He's 9. He can control himself. Okay, and you're an adult. You can do the same. Okay.
Just a
Thing
joke,
is-
man. Jesus Christ.
I know.
We joking with you, bro.
Yeah. What I'm saying,
Bro,
I don't like to get cut
I
off.
said I'll wait for your medication, man.
I don't like getting cut off in mid sentence when I'm answering another question. That's what
All
I
right,
don't.
sorry,
like.
man. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So we're all on here. It's not a dog pile. I know you want your answer. We have to wait to say everybody else. I said how much of France's GDP comes from the CFA?
I thought it had to be like 80, 85%.
No, it's not 80%. GDP. It's not that high, man. Come on. Okay. What is it? What do you do?
Okay, at least 60, what, 68?
No, it's 30. It's 25 to 30%, right? Of the GDP. Okay.
It says this is saying the WAMU and CAMC account for about 15%.
What about the contracts with special goods and services that they get?
That's where you get the
rates?
rest of it. Then
As we get the rest of it, right? If we're 25 and 30%, what if you start cutting that off? What happens to your social programs?
you got to raise the ages, and you get riots in the streets.
Yeah. So in other words, Macron goes down there to basically try to patch up the old contract or make a deal down there with these countries, and they tell him take a hike. He goes back what he's facing. We got to cut the social contract, right? We don't have any more money, right?
No.
Okay. So what you're gonna get? You're gonna get what? Riots in the streets. Okay.
Yeah.
Not currently.
You have
Oh, that's
riots in
happening.
the street. You have riots in the streets right now in France.
Yeah, they tearing France up, man. It's crazy.
Google's your friend. Go look it up. Okay.
Yeah, they're fucking it up. They're setting fires. They're pushing over stuff.
And basically, he didn't put it up for vote, did he? What did he do? He just passed it, right? Because he has
Yeah.
to. Okay, we said that back in 2007. We knew this was
I
going to
mean,
happen.
Because France can't afford to. They can't afford to fund themselves. I mean, that country's. It's a lovely country, but they really can't afford to live how they want to live.
With the social benefits that France was getting, okay, with child care, maternity leave, retirement, vacations, unemployment,
2
all
months.
kinds of
I had 2 months off vacation. I thought it
in
was.
other words, there was a whole bunch of stuff they were getting, right? Very
In the month of August, France is empty.
Fabulous social benefits, right? He could afford to, right? What happens when they can't afford it anymore? What's going to happen?
They're going to crash.
You're going to get what you see here.
I mean,
they have a lot of stuff they've prepared.
I was going to say, I had a question. Well, it's similar to similar what's going on with Israel, with Netanyahu overturning the whole Supreme Court system. You're just seeing an extension of the hand where, like you said, BJS, they don't have the special perks anymore.
I'd be pissed if I was Israel, because all my money, my defense money is going where right now?
Yeah,
Ukraine.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because the way you would think the way Israel is structured and set up, like in my opinion, like they don't really need. It's balanced, but man, it's upside down.
Really? Have you really looked at Israel's budget and how much money they get from the United States every year?
Oh, they get thousands. They get
billions of dollars, not trillions. No,
they get about 30 billion, and they get training, and they buy weapons from us.
Yeah, so
and they get funded to sell some of their tech products too.
Yeah,
they have a lot of investments.
Yeah, anywhere between $20 billion a year.
They literally get 147 billion per year from us.
Oh my god,
bro! And I can't get my motherfucker reparation check.
Man,
I ain't gonna never get this check.
Like United States is like a Jenga puzzle, right? You got to understand where the pieces are. It doesn't make sense on the surface. It's like real clean on the surface to actually look at it. Oh man, you take this stick out, this part's gonna fall. Okay, fall.
One time. You even have Israel there. That's a foothold in the Middle East.
Why is Israel there?
Like you said, foothold in the Middle East.
No. Why is Israel there?
Finish the Crusades.
What's next to Israel?
The Suez Canal.
Suez Canal. Why? Who put Israel next to the Suez Canal? Eisenhower. He took.
They finished off the Balfour Declaration, right?
Well, they did that. But the thing is, America took over Israel through Eisenhower in 1951. Kicked the French and the British out.
Yeah.
Eisenhower.
Yeah.
Okay.
It went from mandatory Palestine to Israel.
It went to 1947.
Yeah. Because there was a good book by Alfred McCoy where he talked about how if you tilt the world axis by about 25 degrees, and you start to see Africa shifted off to the southwest, or it's pointing southwesterly, and then Asia pointing southeasterly. It looks like a boomerang, that Asian and African continent, and right in the center is the Suez Canal and Israel and Greater Japan and Greater Egypt. And then they pay Egypt to not attack Israel.
Yeah,
but now Egypt is too weak to do it anymore.
There was Jimmy Carter back in 74, 7.
Yeah, they stopped that 6-day war, 7-day war.
Yeah, because it's fucking up the oil flows. Okay, because what's right between Egypt and Israel?
I can't be no general, bro. I can't be the general of Africa.
What's between Israel and Egypt? Suez Canal. What goes through the Suez Canal?
All your goods, man.
Oil. Okay. What do you run? What does Europe run on? Oil.
They have pipelines, but it's not nearly enough to supplement.
Oil. Okay.
Because if you look at the landscape, Europe is overdeveloped. It is insane how developed it is. And then if you go through most of France, the countryside, they have dug out so many canals and retrofitted so many rivers to get oil through and other shipments throughout the country. You can bring stuff from the Mediterranean all the way up to northern England if you go through all their channels and stuff. But they also run off of a lot of nuclear, which I think might help them in the long run. But it's just not nearly enough. If you go from let's say London to let's say Czechoslovakia, it's crazy overdeveloped how much that region is. Just the train lines, dikes and levees and stuff.
And first thing, like any minister, I would tell you, if you want about conflict, you look at it what first? A map.
I couldn't hear what you saying. Yeah, I couldn't hear what you said earlier. So
a map. You gotta look at a map first.
Yeah, you blurted out for 30 seconds.
Yeah, in other words, basically, why you think that Saudi Arabia actually made peace with Iran?
Because they got to. I mean, because they need the transport. I mean, if you shut down the transport of goods, and most of these countries are going to starve or they're going to have a war.
What's there, right? What's there? What's
oil
between Iran and Saudi Arabia?
The blockade.
The Strait of what?
Hormuz.
50% of oil flows through what? Strait of
Hormuz.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's not rocket science, folks.
And it's part of
you got to what needs.
But my question is, this is I think I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna shoot it out. Then why is Indonesia not like the richest country? And then why is like God honestly not?
They have too many people.
Indonesia,
part of it, but so does China.
And they're too far away to get like.
And they don't have enough resources.
So they're too poor. Okay.
They don't have enough resources. Same thing with India. They don't have enough resources, right?
India doesn't have enough resources, but it's India though.
For 1.5 billion people, they have enough resources.
They have too many people to even develop the land. I mean, you got more people than fucking France.
For a while,
India is still very medieval in some sense.
Yeah, until like the British came in, they had a surplus of like agricultural stuff, and they could have developed in a different way. But that's an alternative history we won't know. Like they kind of like the British kind of fucked them up, and they
started them. They got a starving gene now.
What was their population then, though, sir?
Like a tenth at most. Yeah. Like it was.
In other words, what happens when you outgrow your food stuff?
You're fucked.
Oh, you're dead.
Right? Okay. Same
I
thing
mean,
with
for
China.
God's sake, they still have the caste system.
Yeah, but a lot of places have that in a different way.
So do we, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say India is one of the last places I'll ever go to again. Like it's a different. I mean, you see poverty there.
You guys can't talk over each other, right? You got to let each other talk, okay?
I was just saying.
Go ahead.
The level of discontent they have towards anyone who's not in their caste is sad. At least Americans will like feign, their thoughts and prayers.
Exactly.
There, bro. If you have no hands, no eyes, and you're on the street,
if you're a Brahmin, bro, you basically fuck, bro. Like
no, you mean the
Brahmin? You're talking about the
Brahmin?
Not Brahmin. My bad.
In fact, they're trying to.
Dalit.
In fact, they're trying to pass an anti-caste system law in Seattle.
Man, them folk ain't gonna stop that shit. I can look in them folk eyes, man. Well, when you talk to a man, you have like a small conversation. You can tell what like they gonna give something up. That ain't nah.
You know what solves all that?
Money.
Give people jobs.
Yeah, money. Yeah, money.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't go over there because I have a bad enough issue dealing with people. Some people on my job who don't wear underarm deodorant. Not a whole.
Well, you don't want to go to Africa then, bro.
You don't.
No, I mean, but you'll at least get treated decently in Africa. In a different way. Like you'll still see crushing poverty. But
I'm going to tell you this: when people may think I'm ethnocentristic, if I was king of the world, I would punish you by death by not putting deodorant on.
Yeah, well, I mean, they struggle to get clean water, man. Deodorant's not on their list.
Yeah,
there's no fucking god damn. Especially when I was in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Smell motherfuckers with no deodorant. You like
yeah. No, but funny joke is, I'm not gonna lie to you.
You got to put in running water first. Deodorant doesn't do any good without running water.
Yeah, you got to wash that away. Get anointed.
Well, you gonna wash it in, but they barely got running water over there, bro. You
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Late, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't.
Somebody else had a question. They've been waiting for a while. Yeah.
I think James had a question, but he left. He jumped down.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. I'm ethnocentristic about that shit.
Hey, man.
Well, things don't go there because that's what you gonna smell.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. They smell worse than African, bro. I'm not saying.
But they also eat like
one time, yeah.
Anytime you put bowls of fucking food and grain and milk for the rats,
yeah.
Oh, bro, that was funny, bro.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
the food is different. It gives them that extra kick. You know.
I mean, it's just that when the
It-
rats get more respect than my black ass, something's wrong.
Yeah, a different religion. It is what it is.
bro.
You can't pick the rat. He's holy. No, he's gonna bite a hole through you.
Hinduism is very medieval. So
I'd be like, you know what? Don't God knows. Don't ask for a cheeseburger. Everybody gonna think you just blasphemous and shit, there, boy.
But yeah, no. Hold on. In South India, they eat meat, but the closer you get to North India, they don't. So I can say that much. At least the Southern Indians, they look kind of black to me, from my understanding. I think they are culturally, whatever.
We are not nigga.
But like when you start passing that after you pass Tamil country, it's like, yeah, I can start seeing like them. You start seeing it. Like after you pass Tamil country, you can start telling.
When were you there?
When was I there? Necessarily, I was there for like last month. I was there for like a week.
Okay.
Say it again.
He went over there to fight Dalsim and shit. That's what he wanted to do.
Nah, bro. I'm enjoying the money that I got necessarily currently, so I'm just doing that currently. That's it, man.
Man, the good thing about Indian women, boy,
they look good.
Yeah, they look good they age in dog years. And I mean, when they
you're not lying. Like some of them hold
oh
up.
my god,
Get them his pup. Some of them do. Some of them don't.
Yes, like the darker they are, the
darker they are, they have skin. So
The
they
ones who
age.
don't, man, they look like a melted candle. They look like homemade soap. It looks bad.
It's something about Indian women, even the dark ones. You look at like, oh, she look fine as shit. You look back around, what the fuck happened?
No. I know some in their 50s, and they, if they
they
dark,
age like black
if
people.
they're
but-
dark, they age like black people.
But the only difference is I don't like is like the females lose their hair around like 40.
Yeah, they get that
So-
cotton
so you-
candy hair.
So that real that pre-male baldness shit, like like Africans got like a whole bunch of, you got like a Ghana or something like that, like all the dudes are bald or some shit. Like at a certain age, all the Indian women just go, that's it, bro, we done. Like their hair just give up, bro.
I mean, it's like they age in dog years, man. As soon as they hit 30, it just says fuck it. Like, God.
Nah, something about like I don't know if it's weird. When you start dating Indian chicks, it's like the hair leave their head and go to their arms, and it's like it's the weirdest.
Oh my god,
it's the weirdest shit, bro.
It's like dating a very pretty version of Wolverine or some shit.
Exactly.
You guys ain't shit.
In the face they cute, I'm telling you. Like I promise you, in the face they cute. But like after they pass like 42, 45, bro, like that hair out on their arms start growing in, and then hair top of their head disappear.
You see a cute Indian chick, check her forearms, man. It look like all that hair and shit. And then God forbid, they eat every goddamn thing spicy.
What?
All right. Anything else, y'all? Any other questions y'all want to get in? Because we got about another half hour. I'm actually going to shut it down.
You got to eat some caddy. Carry your ass to a barber with your hairy ass.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
And it's fucked up because everything I'm saying is true. I'm a very worldly person.
Oh, bro, he's telling the truth. I'm laughing so hard, bro. Like when they pass that 40 something, like the hair on their head just disappear, bro. It's the weirdest. Okay, all right, I'm done.
People be like, you could never be president of the United States. The fuck I can't.
Yeah,
Like-
Indians call it becoming auntie. Okay.
Auntie. Shit, more like a grandmama.
Hey, no, they call them aunties.
No, granny's even worse.
No,
Oh,
they get granny. They when Indian women get old, they look old. They look.
Well, that sun and the harsh climate will do it to you.
But I'm starting to figure out basically what I'm understanding is right. I came to I already knew basically right by but there's a lot of black people that basically what this word assimilating to that culture over time, because I'm watching like small little things. When I was talking to I talked to a lot of like continental Africans, and I'm watching this lady wash her baby, but she's washing her baby the exact same way a lady in Nigeria would wash her baby. And that's what I'm sitting here looking at this. I mean, when it's the exact same way, I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
where did they come from?
Well, yeah, probably most likely East
They came
Africa.
from they came from Southern Africa. That's where they came from.
Oh well, yeah. That's how I knew. I was like, they got to be some kind of cultural connection because ain't no way in hell you wash your baby with the exact.
And there's only so many ways you can actually wash a baby.
Well, you know, I'm just like this. I always thought they came from 7-Eleven, but then again,
Here we go.
Oh my god, brother!
I love Charles, bro.
Yeah, they've been
bringing up the alt-right guy. Okay,
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, she's conservative girl. Like she's and Crimson Kirk called this out. Like she has gotten indoctrinated with the what do you call it, lost cause stuff. Like that's in a lot of American educational systems. Is
what is lost cause?
Basically, the South was noble in its pursuit, and that slavery as an institution wasn't as bad as they say.
I mean,
and that's in a lot.
It was as bad as it was.
It was, but that's not what's always taught in a lot of educational systems.
Oh, of course not, bro. They literally.
You got a lot of liberals saying the exact same thing. Okay.
Yeah. Case in point, look at Florida.
Oh, what?
Because like I've lived in the South a lot, and I mean, you go to any bookstore that's like not Barnes and Noble, even some of those, like you'll see a section on the Civil War, and that era, it'll be the largest section in the whole store. It'll be that, and then like home improvement shit for like wives.
I mean, what I'm saying is lies on both sides. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what lies on both sides because the Civil War was not about slavery. Okay.
No, it's economics. Slavery was a big part of the economics.
No, it
but
it was the economical thing. Is what did Lincoln start the war for?
States' rights.
Tariffs.
Tariffs.
Yes.
The South Carolina tariffs, and then the
railroad.
He wanted to build a railroad. South Carolina and the Confederates say if you raise the tariffs, once again we're actually going to leave. We're actually going to secede. So he raised the tariffs and said we're out of here. What did he actually do? What did that actually bring them back? Right. That's what Civil War is actually about. It's about money. What about slaves?
I'm going to interpret to you for the hood version. Lincoln said, "You niggas need to pay what you owe." The South said, "Fuck you, we gone."
In other words, you increase the tax. In other words, go back and look at the tariffs of the first one they were actually secede over, the tariffs of I think it's 1828.
That sounds right.
I think it's 1828. The tariffs of something, I can't remember the name of it, right? But the thing is, they were actually going to succeed. They talked about it. They lowered the tariffs, and they stayed, right? They have the right to actually secede according to the Constitution. They have the actually right to actually secede from the Union. Okay.
The tariffs of abomination.
Abomination. Is 1824, 1828. Which one was it?
1828. It was about 50% on manufactured goods.
Yeah, and basically to build a railroad, okay, Lincoln increased the tariffs in I think 1858 or something like that. 1860 when he first got in, right? I'm gonna increase the tariffs to actually build his railroad. Okay, 1850. I think it's 1858. I'm not fuzzy on the date, right? And South Carolina said because it sent the South into what a depression when they did that. Okay. Every time they did that, they imported goods they had coming from Europe. Okay, when they did that, South went into a recession. They couldn't sell their goods or receive goods back. Right, tariffs too high. Okay, they went into a depression every time they did that. South said, "We're not going to go through this again. We're out of here." Okay, Lincoln said, "No, you can't leave because 70% of the GDP came from where? The South. They couldn't let them leave."
Yeah.
Yep, hence the reason why they instituted Jim Crow, because once the Civil War ended, they didn't have any damn revenue.
Why did Lincoln free the slaves? Was it because he cared about black people?
No.
Destabilized them.
No.
Because in other words, what was the South's labor force?
Black.
Slaves. If you free the labor force, guess what happens?
Destabilize the region.
In other words, there's no labor. The war is not going to last for very long.
Yeah.
So
food, clothing, material, all your labor force is gone.
Speaking about the South and Jim Crow and segregation, we were doing assassinations and assassination attempt studies on how to prevent them or tell someone's going to do something.
Yeah, Black Excellence. We're not talking about Pearlie's show on this channel. Okay, if you want to talk about her, you can do it another time, unless you want to come up and talk about it because it just happened. I have to look at it first. I don't feel like hearing, white talk on my channel unless it's something that's actually going to help me or help us.
It's that
Jason
Jason
Black
Black
got-
stuff.
yeah, he's got a lot of fans.
And in other words,
weird.
look at demographics. What's happening to white people?
He's shrinking.
They're shrinking. In other words, when you shrink far enough, what's going to happen to you?
Disappear.
You're going to get taken over by somebody, by incoming people, right? You have two problems, right? You got to keep your economic country stable, which takes people, young people, and your birth rate is not keeping up. What do? You have to do what? Import people, right?
Right.
What if
How many
Biden
people
takes black
how many
leaders?
people do you actually have to import to keep it before
Keep your society alive?
Yeah, to keep this society running, this modern society running.
A couple million?
No, a couple million, please. Okay.
Probably
Okay.
30, buddy.
Over the last 20 years, Europe has imported somewhere along 200 million people into Europe.
Damn.
Fuck, bro.
That's like 50,000 a month for like. Whew,
With
that's
Iraq
running
alone,
it.
with Syria alone, you got 12 million people.
How many of
'Cause I
those
know-
are Muslims?
Gotta be a lot of them because they keep fucking all their girls. So apparently, they gotta be a lot of them.
Lots of them. Okay, most of them are Muslims.
I know.
Please don't go. Like, and by the way, like I was saying, we were doing assassination attempts and assassinations to see the telltale signs of when people are going to react or going to do things. Was it wrong for me to look at the George Wallace assassination attempt and kind of like chuckle?
No. I mean, at the time, was it funny to me? No, it wasn't. The thing is, why did they do it to him? That's the question you have to ask. Why? It's not what. Why?
Well, he was a closer target of Nixon. That's why. But
okay. Well,
that's
what did Nixon do? Because Nixon was liberal at the time.
that's the reason why the gunman. That's when they actually interviewed the gunman. That's what they actually said.
Okay.
Couldn't get to Nixon, so he went to the next best thing. The guy running against him, and I'm just like, wow. The guy who says segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Yeah, which wouldn't have made any sense anyway, because guess what? You got to mix.
Yeah, you're going to.
You have to mix, okay? Because where are you going to put these people?
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna.
You don't need them on the farm anymore. Where are you going to put them?
It's not like you're gonna make Negro Town. So,
and if you had just spent the money to actually improve the areas where they were, you wouldn't need to integrate them.
Yeah,
that's what they're asking for. Stop killing us and give us some money, give us some jobs or industries. That's what they wanted. Okay, you don't want to do that. Got to integrate them. But that decision was actually made with Eisenhower back in the 40s. Integrate these people.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to be a separatist and all kinds of like segregated, why don't you just be like, give these niggas all the money they got so they can stay on their side of the bricks?
I mean, we still need you poor though, bro. We still need you poor to take advantage of, man.
It's easy. Paying the reparations. Say reparations are on the continent. The continent will take them because they're getting money and ship them out. Okay, easy. Want to get rid of?
Yeah, they would tell like if they told me they give me $300,000 right now, bro. Well, heck, they get about $300,000.
No.
About $300,000. That'd be enough for me to move.
In other words, you have to improve the infrastructure of the continent to actually accept these people, right? That would probably be like $3 to $4 trillion. Okay, which would they actually accept that? Okay, make it a modern state, but they don't want to make Africa a modern continent, at least not yet.
Competition.
That's why they don't do it. Yeah, well, competition. Competition, not to us, but to whom?
Europeans.
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, Dr. Thunder interviewed a guy who had a compelling argument that you could do a tax abatement for 20, 50, 100 years for anyone who partnered with African Americans. And then that would.
There's one way to do it. We talked about it, which is the best way to do it. Okay, if you did it like that, tax abatements, all that shit is unnecessary.
Well, I'm saying, It's true,
Well,
but you could get
fractional
people.
reserve or something like fractional reserve banking or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
yeah.
could get people to buy in with the tax credit stuff. You know,
You don't have to. Okay.
But aren't the banks failing currently though? Like all over the world.
somewhat. Somewhat. I'm gonna say somewhat. What?
Yeah, but put your money in this bank, but the banks are failing though, my brother.
Okay, Chief, why the banks failing? Go ahead.
Why do banks fail?
Yes.
Banks usually fail necessarily, from my understanding, when they quote unquote don't have the money that they're supposed to have.
Why are these banks failing? They have money.
They don't have the money. They lent out too much money and they can't.
No, that's not really actually true. But why are these banks failing?
I didn't know about Silicon Valley till it actually crashed. So.
Okay, so under right conditions, the banks won't fail, will they?
I mean, guess they got enough paper and people are buying into them. So I guess no.
If under right conditions, the banks won't fail, will they?
No.
Okay, so a bank done properly, will it fail even in these conditions?
Not. Yeah, you're right. If it's done correctly, it should never fail if done correctly.
Exactly.
But people, so yeah.
No, it's not but people. No, if it's done correctly, it won't fail.
Yeah, you're right. If it's done correctly, it won't fail.
People are what? Greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you don't have to invest in the United States if you have the money, right? You have to invest any place, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
At higher interest rates, right?
Yeah, guess you can have higher interest. I didn't ever read. Yeah.
In other words, if you can actually lend money at African interest rates like 8, 9, 10%, should be healthy, right?
Yeah.
Get a decent return, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to go 12% if I was doing it in Africa.
No, it doesn't even have to be 12%. Okay, it can be 8, 9, 10. That's all you need, right?
I'm trying. Like I said, I'm greedy. So
stop running the mouth and think. Okay, you're running your mouth right now. Think. You're trying to make things work. Okay.
Yeah, 8% you making depend on necessarily. I don't know how much individual person that would kind of qualify for. But if you're doing like each person would get a certain amount of money,
it's not even a person. It's where.
It's the bank itself, correct?
No, countries. Okay.
Oh well.
Who you loaning the money to? Does it have to be a person?
No, you don't have to be a person. It can be individuals. It can be other companies.
Most likely, if you're going to do it that way, reparations are actually going to send us back to the continent. What are we building?
Oh, you building like townships, businesses, stuff like that.
Industries, factories, stuff to export, ways to get resources and raw materials and foodstuffs out that would normally rot on the side in the fields, shipped out to places that actually want to buy it, right? It's a lot of money, a lot of resources, right? A lot of money, a lot of resources, right?
That is true.
You can get your money back.
Well, you get your money back plus interest. So I understand that, but okay.
That's if you want to get rich. What if you just want to help out and build a continent? You don't have to take the 25% profits that most people take. You take less and still make your money and still make your bones, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see you do that. I'm still taking my 25 though, but
that's because you're a Bruni, you're a white man. That's why.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Every black person in America has a little white prison. Do you have them in?
Yeah.
Oh no, I need my reparation money back, bro.
You get paid on both sides. What? So then that you're thinking like what? A European, right?
And who got it? Who
you are? You are. You think like European. You're greedy. You think like European.
You don't realize how American you are until you leave this country and realize.
Oh no! Oh, trust me, bro. When I left this bitch, that's when I figured out. Oh, trust me. When I was out there in Uganda, and I was out there in Tanzania, I was like, "Can I get a hamburger?" And they was like, looked at me with that funny look. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong."
If you take 25-30%, what's the difference between you and everybody else that's ripping off the country?
Okay.
No, I'm serious. What's the difference between you and them?
After I get after they do their 100 years, I'm cool with letting it go back.
No. What's the difference between you and them?
At that point, technically, won't be nobody.
No, no, I'm talking about right now with your 25%. What's the difference between you and everybody else?
Oh, absolutely
Nothing.
none at that point. I mean,
Exactly. That's why I call you a boonie. In other words, there's no difference. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Technically, I looked into that shit. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 12%. I was like 13%. I was like, what? 13% interest on a 14%.
Yeah, you have to know how money works. But the thing is, that's a different story. I'm not going to get into that. Bring other people up. We're actually going to finish this out.
No. See, this is the reason why we allow.
Yeah, you guys don't listen to yourselves when you guys talk like that. But, you know, it sounds funny when I said how you do things, right? And you immediately go into being greedy instead of.
I was being joking, but I ain't think. But yeah, man.
Yeah, because you could easily have like a system with African Americans investing in Africa, making a profit, but not being exorbitant. Like, you know, depositors get 3%, you loan out at 10%, and then you split those 7% difference between you
should
and
I
the
be
bank.
getting 5 though?
There you go.
I'm saying you split
There you
whatever that 7% is between you and the bank. If you want 1, if you want 2, if you want 3, if you want 4, if you want 5, an American would say, "I want 7." And then you gotta then they gotta work backwards, and then the Africans will be doing all the labor to loan out to the Africans, and they'll be like, "We hate these black motherfuckers coming from
That's
America."
why I said 5. They can still get their stuff.
So you want 5, and they get 2, and they do all the work.
There you go. You
real quick. It's the capitalism.
Look, man, if I could do mailbox money, and I get 2%, and they get 5, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So one thing that's important, man, is something that a lot of people, I guess, don't know because they probably don't look at this stuff, is that what's happening behind closed doors with a lot of these banks is basically they're swimming naked, man. They're essentially swimming naked. They have a lot of revolving jet channels that are uncovered. And so what's happening is they're not exactly. I mean, in a way, they're lending out more than they have, but not exactly. It's more convoluted than that. They're playing with financial instruments to be able to essentially loan out money to make as much money and be as profitable as possible. That's what's going on.
Why are they?
They're trying to make themselves and their friends as rich as possible.
No.
Sure about that? I mean, there's more to that.
PK, why are they trying to make as much money as possible?
Say that again.
Why are they trying to make as much money as possible?
Because they broke.
Because these fucks are greedy. There are a couple. Go ahead.
Nope. What happened in 2007, 2008, and 2009?
They broke.
No. I'm gonna drop you. Do that one more time, man. Why are they doing that? Have you actually paid back all the money that you owe from the first bank disaster?
No, they have not.
So the balance sheet's still fucked up, right?
Correct.
To get that back in balance, what do you have to do?
You have to drop in. So you have to do a lot of shit.
No, you have to make as much money as possible, right? So you lend the money out from the Fed at what, 0% interest for them to actually do what?
To make that money back.
To make that money back. And guess what they still haven't done?
Made it back. In fact, you made it worse.
Now that is a story for a different day, for a different wall.
Okay, I'll leave it alone then. But anyway, so the bottom line is that it's really something that was bound to how deep can I go?
And it's bound to happen. They knew it was going to happen because you dropped the rates to zero in the first place, right? You put them on life support, okay? You revive them. They have to breathe on their own. What if they can't? Well, you bring them out of it. You get what you got. Get what you got. Basically, what's his name? Rasmus said that a year ago. He said you can't go beyond 5%. Otherwise, the banks will crack. Guess what you see? Exactly.
So that's what we're seeing. So that's a bit of what we're seeing right now. So we're up shit creek without a paddle right now. That's pretty much the best way to put it.
You're between a rock and a hard place, okay? So you have to decide the devil or deep blue sea. Kobayashi Maru, which one do you want? Which side do you take?
And I have a question for you, BJS.
Go ahead.
after listening to what you posted with Jack Ramis and Mark Frost, and I actually listened to what's his name, Nubrini, if I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
The Italian economist, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted your assessment, right? So, with these miniature bank runs,
They're not.
right?
Go ahead.
Right. Now we have to make the decision, or the Fed, Powell's going to have to make that decision on the 22nd.
Yeah.
With that being said, and I'm just thinking from your perception, would you continue to do the rate hikes as Christine Lagarde I think she kind of shocked a lot of people. I didn't think she would be that aggressive with the 50-point basis. And I'm asking from your percent, your analysis, would you
what you have now is basically countries want to push your bonds back to you, okay? Because they don't like what you're doing, okay? Wait, send all your dollars back that you owe goods and services on, right? Okay. How do you defend your dollar? How do you defend your currency?
I mean, you gotta jack those rates up, man.
Same way that Ghana or Uganda or any Greek or anybody else, they have to jack up the rates, right?
Yeah.
Make the dollar more attractive, right? Okay. If you don't do that, what's going to happen?
I mean, it's just going to cost more.
Your currency is going to take a hit. How big a hit, we don't know, right? So do you defend your currency? Or you defend your currency, or do you save your economy, right? Which one do you do?
I see. No, I definitely see what you're saying. I'm wondering, in your perspective, at this point, after we just saw what we saw, right? Do you now say to yourself, I'm putting it, despite what Congress is saying, I'm still going to put my foot on this gas pedal, because obviously if we don't do it, right, we know what these banks are going to start doing, right? The
thing is, they know exactly what's going to happen. That the Congress is telling exactly what's going to happen, right? They know what's going to happen, right? The thing is, why are they doing it anyway? That's the question we don't know. Why are you doing it anyway? We had an idea. Why are you doing it anyway?
I see what you're saying. If you already know the answer to,
you already know the answer to the equation. They all know what the answer to the equation is. Why are they doing it, right? We don't know that, do we? Otherwise, they'd never been done it in the first place. Why are they doing it?
Yeah, they wouldn't take this type of risk. I see what you're saying.
You see the first cracks. You continue doing what you're doing. Okay.
All right. I mean,
why are you gonna step
I
on the
could
pedal?
jump in.
Hold on. Okay. Why are you doing what you're doing? You know?
Yeah.
We don't do it. Now go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, I could. What we're seeing first and foremost is the tech industry being exposed, and that's why the banks that we're seeing that are actually being bought out for the most part, those are the guys. Well, at least with SVB, they didn't cover their. Most people don't even know how to. I've said this plenty of times. Most people do not know how to read a balance sheet. Anyone who can't read a balance sheet, I can't take serious when it comes to anything about finances. Period. And you can see SVP's balance sheet because it's a public company. So you can literally see straight down the line. They didn't hedge their interest rates at all. Literally, look at it. It says zero straight down the goddamn ledger. Okay, so that's why they went down. Obviously, we already know that zero interest rates was too low for too long. So that's why we had the tech industry have this ridiculous boom, and a whole lot of companies, zombie companies, especially in the tech, that are pretty much are worthless. Not only that, we're also talking about funny accounting as well. So what's really happening right now is they're going to force many of the big banks to buy those banks. So
they already have. They already started. Yeah.
Exactly, but the common person, they don't understand what that's going to do. There will be less competition because outside of America, there's basically no regional banks.
I was thinking the same thing though.
South, I was listening to Richard Martin, and it's worse than that, man.
Oh yeah,
I listened to it. And, oh boy, I said, oh boy.
So let me point out something to you.
It could get worse.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead, South. You finish.
It could get worse, and that's why they get. and that's why they get the big. Well, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but I mean, I mean,
we might do a behind the wall tomorrow, man. You know,
exactly. I'll just leave it at this. I was discussing this.
I'll leave you with this. So the faith and credit of the United States is at risk right now.
Yes,
okay? Is at risk.
It is.
Now.
Yeah,
Real big
it
time.
is. And I was
It
discussing
really
that. I was discussing that yesterday with a colleague I do taxes with. He used to close banks. He used to work for FDIC.
Okay.
Currently, he's on Capitol Hill. Works direct. He reports directly to Congress. So trust me.
He's working overtime right now.
Talking about.
He's working overtime right
now.
So
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this and keep it real safe. This isn't a problem that extends to just small or smaller banks, man. This ain't that simple.
No, it's the whole structure of the United States right now, man. The decisions have been made. It's been, you know what I said. We breathed and said, man, how do we get here, man? Because it doesn't make sense. You took a gamble.
Oh, we know how we got here. We know exactly. I think this is what's. I'm trying to stay as safe as possible. We know how we got here.
Okay, we know how we got here. Yeah. The thing is why. The thing is, we know how we got here. The thing is why. Why now? What is what it is. Go ahead. You know, somebody's trying to get in.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just watched something on YouTube. I don't know if I sent you BJS, but they were talking about Blackstone on the commercial real estate side.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you like 3 years ago? Commercial real estate.
They won't buy the house.
Yes, buy it out. What I would say when interest rates started to rise, Sauchi told you the same thing, didn't you, Sauchi?
Yep.
And this and just to piggyback, they said Blackstone put 50% down. I think the building, let's say, estimate of $4 billion. They put $2 billion, and they still about to basically let that shit foreclose.
The thing is, guess what? Okay, you base most of these guys do not invest with long-term interest rates, right? It's always what short-term, right? Normally 1 year, at max 2 years, right, Sauchi?
Yeah.
Max 2 years, right? I'm thinking, right? Max 2 years, right?
Yep.
What happens is if the Fed starts raising interest rates?
More than double.
Yeah. Or going from 0 to 5. What happens? Basically, 500%. What happens to your investments?
Yeah, you done wiped out.
You have problems, especially when you bought 1 in 6 houses actually owned by REITs. What's going to happen to those REITs?
That's right.
Crushed.
They're gonna have problems. They're gonna have to start shedding property, right?
Yes. So my question,
including the small, the individuals, man. I feel sorry for a lot of people who got in closer to the top of this bubble, man. You guys, I feel sorry for you guys. You're about to take a fucking ream and you don't even know it.
Well,
that always happens.
You can't tell people shit, man. You can't tell.
They don't listen.
They don't listen.
No. So my question is, I do have a question, right? So I'm looking at a lot of these. I remember you said that what is it? The banks were basically eating each other. When I looked at it and I started reading, I was like, they basically eating the bigger banks, eating the little banks' assets.
They have to keep it alive. They have to absorb.
Yes.
They did that back in with the 1907 money panic, right? When the Federal Reserve was actually proposed. Okay. They had to absorb smaller banks. They had to keep the whole system alive.
Yeah, but my thing, like you said, basically, wouldn't that basically lead to a new superpower by virtue? Because once these banks necessarily
what's your alternative?
Lose everything or
no. As I'm asking you, don't kick it. Don't help him. Don't help him.
No, he said it. I already knew.
No. He's a smart ass. What's your alternative?
Shit, ain't no alternative when at that point you just stuck.
In other words, they're doing what they must. They don't want to actually absorb these banks. They don't want to do that. They don't want these banks.
They don't want that.
Problem. They don't want them.
Yeah.
I thought the other banks did want the other banks stuff.
No,
hell no.
Hell no. They don't even. That's not even their clientele.
That's not.
In other words, we're gonna start making you pay for teaching you. Okay.
That's like mixing. So this is like social class. This is classism amongst the banking.
Like, let me tell you, those too big to fails. The small banks clientele. They don't see them.
They don't need them.
They don't feed them. Feed them. They don't have enough money. They don't feed them.
Yeah, it's not worth their time. Just understand that. and that's it. It's not even a conversation. You're not worth my time. That's it.
Okay.
Go back and read about the 1907 money panic, Zulu.
1907 money. Boy, you're talking about dates wave.
BJS, I got a question for you.
Nigga, if you don't want to learn, man,
I
shut
know,
the fuck
I'm
up.
learning, but it's just
shut the fuck up. You always complaining about learning and asking me 1,000 questions, right? We're not
It's just
gonna spoon
1907.
feed
Going back
you.
1907.
Oh yeah. Spoon feed you. Not gonna spoon feed you. Okay. The Federal Reserve goes back to 1913. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to learn about that one either.
Now, I like to learn, but it's just, God damn, this shit. It's more the fact I can't believe this problem was still going back. I can't really like fix it. So, like in my brain, I believe they would have.
How old is your Constitution, man?
And the Constitution about like 100 and some years old.
No, 250 years old.
I thought like 100.
You are a millennial, man. You're a millennial, man. I know. I forget.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who's next, man? Don't even talk
I
about
got a question for you, DJ.
Millennials drive me crazy.
No, he ain't gonna drive me crazy, nigga. That nigga drive me.
Nigga, read.
BJS, we got something called an infirmary for niggas like that. We just
put him in the corner. Okay?
Put him in the corner.
Here's a book, man.
Not with the dunce hat. Don't put me in the corner.
Yeah, we put the dunce hat on you already. While you talking, look it up, man.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah,
1920.
Actually, did a video on it.
When are you gonna put that video out about the what the banks are really doing?
Richard Martin had a very good opinion. I'm actually gonna post it right after we get off here. I'm actually gonna cut up, put it on the page.
I got a question for you, BJS.
I'll get it when I wake up.
Okay. What
question for you? So with the decision that Biden made, right, to basically back those particular banks, right? Does this put him in a very in a questionable
he did that last year, man. Okay. He's trying to play cleanup right now. Okay. He put himself in this position. Okay.
Gotcha.
Like he's trying to play cleanup. He's doing what he has to do to actually save this system. Otherwise it'll crash. Worse than 2008.
So do you think he overshot himself? With all the stuff that's been going on, and now, like, I don't think this was a part of the equation, right? I don't think he saw this, and bang, obviously.
If everything goes well and you achieve your objectives, this is not an issue. Everything's rosy, path is smooth. What happens if things go wrong? If you don't have a backup?
Okay,
it's when things go wrong.
Makes sense.
And you don't have a backup. Now you have to play cleanup.
And this is
and hopefully you have a alternative backup plan that will work.
Like you said, that will work.
Yeah, we're gonna find out, won't we?
Shit.
You've been playing the game for a while. Plan B was Plan A.
Keep doing Plan A till it works, huh?
Yeah,
that was the plan. It's just Plan A again.
yeah. When I found out what it was about, man, I said this shit ain't gonna sell. I just buried my head in my hands. This shit is not gonna work. This is not gonna end well. Okay.
Well, let me ask you this, BJS. With obviously you have Jerome Powell operating on his own decision making.
He's not.
Okay.
Because what he started to do coincides exactly with what happened last year. Exactly, almost within a couple of weeks. Exactly with the sanctions and everything. Exactly coincided with it. So that means he's in on it. Okay, it's not something that he was in on it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Everybody's coordinated. The thing is, what happens when the shit doesn't work? Okay.
Oh, so that's the dilemma. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So the thing is, now you're in a rock and hard place. What do you do? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I have no clue. Like, okay, this is where we at. So just like Trump with COVID, right? Okay, what do you do? It's coming. You let it out, and it's coming. What do you do now? Okay.
Man, they got this is some real.
You close down the economy and send the economy into a tailspin, or you let people kind of expire. Which one do you?
So it sounds like the musical chairs. They run out a lot of chairs.
You're looking at the boat as it's losing water, and you're like, well, damn, like I didn't bring a bucket.
It's like kick the can with no road. Okay.
It's like looking at 1,000 doors and all of them closed before you made a choice, and there's only one door that's open.
I don't know. What do? You guys can speculate because we're here now.
Like they say, the devil don't force you to do it. They just tempt you.
Anybody on my Patreon, knows I can see why he did it, and I can see if it worked, what would happen. The thing is, what if it doesn't work? And it didn't work.
Shit didn't work.
Now we're here. Okay, what do? And instead of like a good gambler, you double down, and we're doubling down. Okay.
Okay.
We're here, so you have to make it.
We're like playing blackjack, and we hit 21, and we say hit again. And that's what we do. We play blackjack, and we hit 21, and it's like hit me. And the dealer just looks at us like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
When you get 13s in blackjack, which is a bad bad hand. Yeah.
Yep.
We got 13s. What do you do?
You got that. You got that Henny. You got that Remy.
You better hope the dealer's good to you and rolls you a 7 or something.
So with that being said, BGS, it sounds like there is I'll say a 60% possibility we might not make it to 2024 without some calamity.
I don't know. With the way people are talking, man, all cards are on all options on the table, man. Some of them are actually more scary than others.
So
people talking real reckless, man. In certain circles, like you need to send him outside, man, because they're talking real reckless. Okay, you can't put him at the table. Send him outside.
Yes, he might be like the mobsters breaking legs and missing eyes.
No. Some people want to burn down the whole house. No, send him outside.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk to me, man. I'm into burning. I'm an arsonist, man. I like burning down houses. So.
Yeah, in the middle while you're in it.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. We'll do better next time.
Okay, well, okay, next time.
I'll watch outside, like 100 yards away.
Yeah. You want to sit in the middle drinking tea in a burning building? Okay.
You gonna go, but that's what I'm doing, bro.
Some cat said he waiting for the asteroid to hit the Earth. I said, sound like Heaven's Gate and Hell Bop. Okay, I'm gonna hit your ride on Hell Bop as it goes past. You want to know?
PK, you gonna be in the strip club throwing dollars when everybody hit exit out the back door?
Man, I'm find the baddest chick,
and I'm doing her all night.
The baddest ass and the biggest titties. I'm gonna give her the extra tip. We're gonna ride this sucker right on in. I'm gonna have like 2 scoops of Viagra. We're doing this all night, baby.
The PK, bro.
I'm operating off of the principle of mission failed. We'll get it next time.
Get some lube because this ain't gonna be no short time. All right. we riding this baby in. This is the last go round.
Long dick the economy.
Oh man, I'm hitting bottoms all night, man. You're right. I'm hitting bottom all night. I'm hitting the bottom of this motherfucker. I'm hitting the bottom of this motherfucker out all night long. I paid your money. Here's the loot. We going for it. All right. Fuck that. I don't care if you're tired.
BJ's got the people's elbow. He got 316.
Like Beyonce said, lay here till I get it. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
We just don't give a fuck what you got to do. I know what I got to do.
I'm a monk, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, fuck it. I ain't got to hear a mouth tomorrow. Shit, I don't care.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, she gonna have her eyes rolled back of the head. Are you finished yet? Nope.
Nope. I got.
Anyway, where we at? All right, we're at 3 hours Last questions and then closing thoughts.
I got one more question for you guys. With obviously the things that are happening with the banks. Now the question I want to ask you, how does this translate to China, obviously Latin America, all these, obviously we're so interconnected with globalization.
They're the opposition, they're the competing side.
Okay.
Okay. That's how to translate. They're not on the same team. Okay.
Okay.
That's what's happening. That's the whole reason for all this. There's competing sides. If that makes sense. BRICS. Okay.
Okay.
Look them up. What did this happen in the Middle East?
Yeah, I saw with the Saudi Arabia and now with Iran.
Who brokered that deal?
Was it the Saudis?
China.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or China.
China. They had just broken another deal. I'm trying to remember what other peace deal they had brokered just before that. I can't remember what it was, but they had broken another deal before that.
So let me, with that being said, that puts Israel in a very compromised position.
Israel's ready to switch sides, sir.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. You're right.
Yeah, Mexico's talking about being an observer status with the BRICS, sir.
Wow,
really?
Yeah.
There's whispers of that already. Saudis talking about getting observer status with the BRICS too.
Wow.
It's basically OV at that point, basically. I mean, at that point, at
that
point,
maybe not. We can't say, right?
Exactly.
You'll hear.
The Saudis and Mexico.
You look. Just put in Mexico and BRICS. Okay, that's all I'll say. You want to get question and answers, man. Come on.
Nah.
Everything ain't free. Everything ain't open. Everything ain't free, man. Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
Look it up.
I'm gonna be there for like another hour and a half.
I'm giving you hints. Okay.
That's all I need.
1907 money panic. Okay.
I just looked at 1907. $100 was basically worth $3,000 back then.
What I asked you to do? 1907 what?
Money problems.
Money panic. All right.
Money panic.
Follow instruction, millennial. Listen to me.
Man, I got that. Man, we got an infirmary, brother. I have a straight jacket.
I go through this with my grandson. Right. Simple instructions that they have a hard time with. Okay. Like he wanted to spoon feed me him the answer, right? Can't you just tell me? No. Look it up, read it for yourself. Learn. 1907 money panic led to Federal Reserve. I actually did a video on it. Rich Mercer talked about it.
Oh my bad.
Hey, if you want to actually want to look it up, man, I actually did a video on it. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody actually saw it. I did it about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I think. About the 1907 money panic. Actually, we should do papers for my sister, my daughters about the crash, 2007-2008 crash. About the MDOs and the CDOs and the MBOs and mortgage-backed obligations, that kind of stuff.
Oh, for college?
No, for my daughter was in college, and then my sister was going through a master's program. I actually did a couple of papers for her.
Oh, so they were saying stuff that the professors didn't even know.
Huh?
They were talking about stuff the professors didn't even know.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This is kind of in depth.
They don't actually. Well, here's the question, because I didn't know that. This is news to me. They don't talk about this in college anymore.
What? Hell no.
No, not at all.
Oh, I don't know, man. You gotta remember, I had to figure shit out for myself, man. I don't know what they teach and what they don't teach.
Hell, most of the time you won't hear this except here for the most part, even on YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I always say this stuff is high level. People think I'm just like being nice to BGS. No, you don't talk about this shit in no fucking finance classes.
No.
Dude, I barely talk about this at work.
Yeah. So you would call me out if I was bullshitting you.
Yeah, like I have a small conversation with my family about like small conversations we have here, and they look at me like I'm fucking retarded, and I'm like, well, you know,
if you really, I'll play a little bit of it since he asked. Okay, if you really want to know about it, basically go back and look at C.S. First Boston versus Orange County of 1994 with the mortgage MBOs. Actually went under. It cost them like $1.5 billion, and they had to take it out of the school system. So,
wow.
And that's the first instance of it. They actually used the same stuff when. Let me see. I'll play a little bit of this. Richard Martin does a pretty good job of it. Share screen. You actually, if you want to finish, you can actually look it up yourself. But I'll play a little bit of it.
Downturn in 2007. Also to show how human nature never changes.
Let me speed it up.
It's a fascinating story. Basically, the panic of 1907 was caused by a classic run on the bank, leading to the failure of the Knickerbocker Trust Company in New York, which drained cash reserves from the financial system and created a shortage of liquidity all over the city and eventually in the broader economy. Merchants couldn't use credit to pay for inventory, cash wasn't available to pay workers, farmers couldn't sell their crops, and the economy entered a recession. It all started with a routine speculation that went awry. In those days, it was common for stock operators to borrow huge sums of money to finance an effort to manipulate a stock price for their own personal gain. The big speculators and their syndicates had enough buying power to move the prices of even the largest stocks. In October 1907, one of these operators, a banker named F. Augustus Heinze, attempted to corner the market of a copper mining stock. The operation failed, and the stock, which had reached a price of 60 during the attempted corner, almost immediately collapsed. The leveraged nature of these manipulations caused the public to fear that Heinze's bank, Mercantile National Bank, was bankrupt. In fact, Heinze's bank was still solvent, but in banking, perception can become reality. And as depositors pulled their money out, Mercantile needed an emergency loan to stay alive. On its own, the prospect of a small bank failure shouldn't have been more than a blip on the economic radar. But without a central bank to act as a lender of last resort, and without deposit insurance that would have calmed nervous savings account holders, this tiny bank run was the spark that led to contagion, a fancy word economists now use to avoid having to admit to widespread fear. Other depositors around New York City wondered if their own deposits were safe, and, like Lehman in 2008, the panic spread when a much larger organization suffered its own no-confidence vote. Just 2 days later, on October the 18th, 1907, news broke that the president of one of the largest trusts in New York, the Knickerbocker Trust, was an associate of Heinze, and people all over the city began to question the safety of their deposits. It was a classic run on the bank. Fear begat more fear, and everyone wanted their cash back at once. Trusts in New York at that time were not technically banks, but they acted just like them, taking in deposits and making loans. The problem was that these trusts were not regulated. Trusts made riskier loans, such as uncollateralized loan to stockbrokers, who then used the capital to lend to their customers who bought stocks on margin. The trusts also had much more leverage. Banks in those days kept around $1 of cash in their vault for every $4 of deposits. At the trusts, each $1 of reserves was stretched across every $20 of deposits. This meant that the trusts were much more vulnerable to runs. A trust could become insolvent if only 5% of its deposits were redeemed. In those days, with the right amount of fear, that could happen in an afternoon. In October 1907, it didn't take much longer than that to cause the failure of the Knickerbocker. Around that time, a group of bankers led by J.P. Morgan were going over the failure of the Knickerbocker. They studied the Knickerbocker's books to determine whether or not it should be saved. In the end, the bankers were essentially acting as a central bank of sorts, and they decided to let Knickerbocker go down. Technically, the trust didn't fail. It just closed its doors for 6 months and locked out depositors. But practically speaking, it was bankrupt. The Knickerbocker failure sparked massive fear all around New York, and the contagion quickly spread to other banks and even larger trusts. Morgan and his cohorts realized they may have made a mistake and quickly reversed course by extending a lifeline to the Trust Company of America and a few other major financial institutions in the city. This may have mitigated the worst possible outcome. But just like in 2008, the bailouts didn't stop the crisis from spreading. Depositors continued to ask for their cash back, and the banking reserves of the entire financial system rapidly evaporated. An astonishing 48% of the deposits left New York trusts and found safety in mattresses and dresser drawers. The panic eventually spilled over into the broader economy. Businesses didn't have enough cash to finance their operations or pay their workers, and many had to close their doors and halt production lines. The stock market plummeted 40%. Economic devastation has real consequences, and it's never fun to read about the plight of those who feel the effects most acutely. But from a human behavior standpoint, the Panic of 1907 is a fascinating sequence of events to read about. As a side note, the similarities between the Panic of 1907 and the crisis that occurred 101 years later in 2008 were remarkably similar. Heinz's bank failure was like Bear Stearns. It was the first domino, but on its own it should have been manageable. However, the Knickerbocker, just like Lehman in September 2008, was the catalyst that accelerated the crisis and nearly brought down the financial system. In both instances, the men in charge, Morgan and his syndicate in 1907, Bernanke and Paulson in 2008, decided against saving what turned out to be a systemically important bank. In both cases, this decision led to panic, crashing stock prices and additional bank runs. Everyone wanted their cash in hand. Both bank failures also caused the decision makers in each case to reverse course and save other teetering institutions. In 1907, Morgan saved the Trust Company of America, and in 2008, the US government saved AIG. In addition, before the bailouts in 1907 and 2008, both groups of bankers were concerned about propping up doomed banks. Prudent lending was the concern in 1907. Moral hazard was the concern in 2008. But ideology quickly was tossed out of the window, and the focus became the practical matter of putting out the fire. The financial system had to be saved. The aftermath of both crises unfolded in a similar way as well. In both cases, the run on the bank created further panic. People demanded cash above any other asset. Liquidity dried up, causing businesses that relied on credit to suffer, which caused a broad economic downturn. One difference is that the 1907 recession was very deep, but the recovery was swift, unlike the aftermath of 2008. The political aftermath was very similar between the crises as well. As is the case with most crises, congressional leaders of both parties got on their collective populist and moral high horse and dragged business leaders to Capitol Hill, demanding an explanation for what went wrong. The general result of every crisis is always the same. After the finger-pointing is finished, the remedy is new legislation and increased regulation, all designed to prevent the next crisis. Sometimes this post-mortem results in sensible reform. 1907 gave us the Federal Reserve Act, at the time a wildly controversial piece of legislation that was viewed as a vast overreach of government power, but one that was, in retrospect, disastrously assumed to be a necessary linchpin to the financial system. The Great Depression gave us the FDIC and the SEC, and the most recent crisis gave us Dodd-Frank and the CFPB. Apart from the horrific monster thrown up at us as the Federal Reserve, I won't discuss the merits of any of these other so-called remedies, but I think it's really interesting to study the common denominators and the human behavior aspect of all of these crises. Given the fact that human nature doesn't change, the next crisis is inevitable. Laws and regulation can be effective at times at preventing what caused a previous crash, but greed and fear are two constants in financial markets, and they will be the two key ingredients that will lead to the next great crisis. The cause will be different and, as usual, seemingly unexpected, but the human behavior before, during, and after the panic will look very similar. From a practical standpoint, I think it's always interesting to study the various financial crises that have occurred throughout market history. Reading first-hand accounts of these events as they unfolded gives you a great sense of how much asset prices can be impacted by the sheer emotion and herd behavior. This is obvious to most of us, but it's helpful to keep in mind, as even the most level-headed operators can be influenced by fear. It's also helpful to remember that the luckiest investors are usually the ones who have the opportunity to capitalize on such panic. Morgan was making loans when no one else was in 1907 and acquiring assets on the cheap. Buffett was providing capital and buying stocks in the midst of the panic in 2008. And coincidentally, JP Morgan's eponymous bank would also be buying cheap assets 101 years after he helped save the system in 1907. Just like some of the banks in Morgan's 1907 syndicate that came out of the crisis in a stronger position than when they entered it, some of the best companies in today's world actually added to their intrinsic value because of 2008. Berkshire and JP Morgan are just two examples. They extended credit and bought companies when few others had the means to do so.
So,
Talk about
in a
JP
lot of
Morgan again.
ways, yeah, in a lot of ways, one of the key aspects to take away from that, when you mentioned Dodd-Frank, something that you no longer have is the protections that enabled. That was stripped away. When was that, BGS? I don't remember the exact year, but it was back in right before 2008, I believe.
Glass-Steagall.
Yeah, with Glass-Steagall, the repeal of that. So that happened. I believe under was it
Clinton?
Might have been Clinton. Yeah, I believe it might have been Clinton. So you got that, and then you get the after effects of that, which was effectively we're reliving portions of the 1900s and the financial issues that had been throughout those times.
Go look in 2018 what about SVB and Dodd-Frank and what the alteration they actually did to it. Okay, that caused what you just saw. Okay. Okay, history repeats itself. It always does. Okay, it always does.
And none of this had to go this way, but you know, these people.
And history repeats itself. There's a reason for it. Even though they had just gone through it, they always go back to the old well, what greed and fear, right?
Cause humans.
Cause humans. Anyhow, anything else? Closing thoughts? Anything else? Because we're about to get out. We're at the 3.5 hours.
Good stream.
I was watching good stream. I was watching your other video about the whole bread tube stuff and many of your positions that you say that you still hold, man, would have been considered old school progressivism, believe it or not. That was many of those ideas are really what were progressive ideas going all the way back to the early really the early 1900s. That's where they come from.
All the way back. Well, really, if you really want to go all the way back, go all the way back to the 19th century with France and then the social contract. So a lot of this stuff it still holds. You got to go back and actually look where this stuff comes from. Most of the people here are liberals, one of some sort of another. So.
Right. But anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for having me up.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Okay. Anybody else? Closing thoughts? Thanks for writing when we saw you.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for having me on. Have a good
Anybody
night.
else? Closing thoughts?
I just thanks a lot, BJS, man. You know, I love these economical conversations. Man.
I probably might have to do a behind the wall, man, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't feel comfortable saying in public anymore. Would have 2 to 5 years ago, I would have done it without a drop. But these aren't those times.
No, I agree, and I thank you. And like I said, I'll be once you go live, man. I'll be right there, brother, right there.
Appreciate you.
Always.
All right, Sarge. What you got? Are you still there? Okay. If not, we're gonna bounce. All right. He's out. All right, folks. The old man's gonna go to bed. No, it's not quite time to bed. Get something to eat and then take a nap. So anything else? Without further ado, okay, folks, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.